Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's Kanye West?
He's a rapper. This
Yeah?
is episode, I almost said 60. 60's in my head.
59.
59.
59.
Because it's a landmark number.
Hey.
But, yeah, this is episode 59. And we're here with this, I don't even know who this guy is. He just showed up at my house, and we're just
You
like,
tell me. I was hoping someone could tell me.
listen, I got a story
Shall
for
we?
you.
Who are you?
I got a story for you guys. Ready?
Let's hear it.
Oh, fuck.
So,
God.
my roommate, he's a movie buff. I'm gonna start at the very beginning, and
Love it.
he likes watching like all the Oscar nominated stuff.
I do the same
So
thing.
okay, so yeah, of course. So we went to go see all the Oscar nominated shorts, right? And they had it in a movie theater, like as a movie in the Ritz, because in Philadelphia they do bougie film stuff like
Yeah.
that.
It's the Ritz.
Yeah. So he knows I like anime, so he invited me to go watch Mirai because that was Oscar nominated. The movie said that it was going to be the dub, which I like better, but it was a sub. Never seen it before, so I was like,
Right.
whatever. Go in, and you know how like when you go see an anime movie, it's like a weird crowd. I'm not sure if you've ever seen like
I've been to the Ritz, yeah, a couple times.
yeah, it's like the
No, I go to the Ritz.
Trust me, I go to
I'm
the
upper
Ritz.
class.
You got your
AMC.
you got your Ritz card?
I scoff at AMC.
Your membership.
Isn't it AMC at the Ritz?
Yeah,
Yeah, it
there's-
is. It is actually. There's multiple Ritz theaters though. There's ones that's actually like is
There
like
is,
a
yeah.
super like indie one. That's the one by Harbor Park, and
I know the one. Old
What's
City,
the one by your office actually on Market, 4th and Market,
that's AMC at the Ritz.
with the cobblestone
believe.
street.
right
you know what
next,
I'm
right,
talking
about?
right
Oh,
by,
yeah, I know which
right
one
by
you're
the
talking about.
the Bourse.
The Bourse.
I'm pretty sure that's AMC at the Ritz, but there's
Because very tiny.
yeah. Oh,
They only showed like maybe 5 movies.
then that's probably just the one that's called the Ritz, I think.
I don't know. I just know the one
It's
that has
next
the
to a
cobblestone.
Subway.
Subway. No, the one that I'm thinking of is by the new Wawa that brews its own beer.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Yeah, wait. I thought it's by your office.
It is. Someone's fault.
Yeah,
It's
okay,
on
we're
Market.
thinking the same one. No one knows what you're thinking.
Dude, there's this one is across the street from like a flower shop that has like the classic like neon flower shop, and there's all Asian people in there.
Isn't that the same place?
Dude, it's very vaporwave. I dig it,
Could be. I
even
don't
though
know.
it's 2019. Anyway, I'm in this
So,
movie.
so when you go in
It's like
there,
dry.
do they have like videos of screen of vaporwave music playing or some anime girl like doing homework? And you just hear
Just all foggy.
I didn't walk in there, but like it looked pretty cool. I felt it was one of those feelings that's like,
It's a
if I
front.
walk in here, I'm gonna be pressured to buy something.
Nah, it's
So
a
I-
front. Like, did you ever see what's that movie, The Town? Where it's like a flower shop, but it's actually the mob.
Oh,
Yeah,
I like that.
not Oscar nominated.
No.
that was Oscar nominated.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good movie.
Sheldon would know better than anyone. But anyways, I'm in this movie theater, right? And I'm watching this movie, and I sit down to like kind of get into the movie, and like my roommate's sitting next to me, so I'm in the aisle. My roommate's on the left of me, and somebody sits directly behind me, right? Now there's a lot of room on this row that was behind me, but this guy decided to sit right behind me. So automatically you
no
feel
movie etiquette.
you feel self-conscious because you're like, all right, like, is the back of my head in this guy's field of view or whatever? Ready for this?
Tough luck.
All right, so I'm watching the movie, and I just start hearing him making, like, noises, like, just like he's choking or something,
Yeah,
like,
like-
just noises. And then I hear, like, rummaging, like,
CPR.
I hear, like, rummaging, like he's rummaging around. So I'm like, what in the world is going on behind me? You don't want to turn around because then it's, like, super obvious. It's, like, very climactic. Like, hey,
Yeah.
you're being kind of loud. I'm trying to watch this movie. So I'm just watching the movie. I'm really trying to get into it. You know, I got to pay attention because there's subtitles and stuff. So, like, I'm watching. And then, dude, I swear to you, something round hit the back of my foot and rolled up to the front of the movie theater. Like, I heard something drop behind me and round
Like
and,
a
like,
loud, like thud.
somebody dropped the ball and it just rolled up to the movie theater. Like, I heard a few things fall behind me, and one of them was spherical because it fell and it rolled into the back of my foot and just went all the way up to the front of the movie theater. So I'm like, what is going on? Like, I still didn't turn around, bro.
Yeah, what could it have been?
There's a very climactic scene in the movie, and all of a sudden I just hear like this Velcro rip, like like someone opened up a bag or something, dude. And I whipped around to see this guy, and he goes, "I'm sorry." I'm like, dude, what is going on, right? So I look at my roommate, and he's looking at me, and so the movie ends. And the whole time, like, I thought I was going to get John Wilkes Booth. Like, I thought this guy was, like, going to shoot me in the back. I thought something weird was going to happen because he sat right behind me, right? So I get up, and I swear to you, I asked him, I was like, are you looking for your ball? That's exactly what I said. And he was like, yeah, did you see it? And I was like, I was like, dude, it rolled up to the front of the
And
theater.
then just from that voice, I'm picturing like the perfect person. Like,
Dude, exactly. The way that
sorry.
Probably
the
all
way that you
greasy.
picture him is exactly how he looks, dude. He had a blue shirt with long sleeves and
Yeah,
glasses.
he was-
No, but dude, so
Yeah,
I'm
we
leaving.
went to the same
I'm
movie.
leaving the theater and I just start ranting to my roommate. I was like, "How hard is it to just watch a movie?
Right.
What was he trying to do? Was he like putting together a model kit or something? Why did he have a ball? Why did he drop it
Putting
and roll to
together,
the front?"
he was making Astro Boy.
Dude, I thought that like he dropped one of those things in the Batman cartoon, like the small gas ball, like it goes to the front theater and knocks everyone out.
Everyone's just cracking up, like, ah.
We all laugh ourselves to death. I'm like,
I
dude,
just love
what is
that.
It was the weirdest thing ever. He's like, I'm sorry. But
like-
it was literally it's like somebody opened up a bag of like
Yeah,
I don't
just-
know, and I'm like,
fun.
miscellaneous
I
things.
whipped around like that. Like it wasn't like a. I was
Dude.
like,
He was doing
Dude.
arts and crafts or something.
Yeah,
behind you.
man.
His fanny pack and everything.
I swear, like every time I go to an anime event, it's just like, guys, can we just enjoy anime without anybody doing anything weird? What are you doing back there?
Oh, it was an anime movie.
Yeah, Mariah's.
I didn't catch that. at
anime
first.
movie,
Oh, that
yeah.
makes a lot more sense.
The premise was pretty cool. It was about like a
Yeah.
kid who he's pissed off because there's a new baby in the house, like his sister's born, and his parents are giving her more attention. And so he starts using his imagination to talk to her in the future. So like a future version of his sister is like talking to him and like giving him like a perspective on life. That's pretty interesting. And it was pretty good. The narrative wasn't really that cohesive, but I was like, I see why this is Oscar nominated. It has all the
Right.
trappings of that kind of film.
Right.
But dude, it was hard to focus with that guy, man. Like I don't know what was going on.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Dude,
I could be there.
speaking of Oscar nominated, because like Spike Lee finally won an Oscar,
Mhm.
and did you know the announcer was dick eating? It was like, and this is Spike Lee's first award and the first win out of 57 nominations. And I was like, yo,
I know. That's
it's like, don't say my count.
Wait, wasn't it Samuel Jackson? Right?
Yeah, he announced
He
it.
was like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
he's, like,
57
literally-
nominations.
That's-
It was a high.
Yeah, he's
it
up
was
there.
like it was up there.
Yeah, I
Like,
saw that movie in theaters. It was
Black
so good.
Klansman.
Yeah,
It's a good movie.
it was.
It's a harsh
What's
movie.
it about?
Yeah,
So it's going into it, I thought it was like a documentary, but it's is it autobiography? Is it biography?
yeah. No, it's a true story.
Autobic, or what do they call them?
I don't think
Autopic.
that's
What do they call it?
it. It's like
Biopic.
auto
Biopic. That's what
Biopic.
they call
biopic.
it. Biopic.
Yeah.
It sounds like a medicine that you take for your skin.
Yeah.
Music makes you lose control. Yeah. So what's it called? So I'm watching it, and it's about this guy. I can't remember his name. He's he joins the force. He's in what state was it? Arkansas, Utah,
Indiana.
something out west. And he
Around here.
he has a
These parts.
he has a really peculiar voice. Like
He's like, howdy. Like, he's
it's this black guy. No, it's this black guy with this fro, and he's like, "All right, on, brother."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
just like that.
That's
It's
a
like
pretty good impression.
yeah, and it's just I'm trying to think like it. It's so fun. I'm trying to think of like a skit that maybe Dave Chappelle did that like reminded me of
no,
it.
it sounds like Eddie Griffin's like impression of a white person.
Yeah, Eddie
Okay.
Griffin in Undercover Brother when
Yeah,
he
yeah.
when he becomes like his white self.
Mhm.
He's like, "Well, all right, I'll take some mayo on my sandwich."
Okay.
Like that. That's how he was talking.
That's such a
So-
good movie.
He works for this force, and he has Adam Driver, Kylo Ren,
Mhm.
is his partner, to go undercover into this KKK organization. But the black guy got into the organization from his voice.
Oh.
So so because of his voice, they thought it was a white guy. So
What's
they
their
had
motive again? Are they investigators or like they trying to kill
They're
the
trying to
kid?
infiltrate them
infiltrate the
and figure out like the
KKK.
next move, like
Yeah.
bombings, because they were bombing people.
Yeah,
all the time.
okay.
bombing and all that stuff, harassment. So they're
Mhm.
trying to figure out a way to.
But yeah, he
Get in and
introduced
stuff.
like himself to David Duke, who was like
Yeah.
the top guy. So then
Yeah,
like they became friends over the phone, but
they
they
were
couldn't
film, but they
meet.
never met.
Yeah,
So
then they
Adam,
had-
he had
Right.
Adam
and
Driver.
Adam Driver's like actually Jewish, right?
Yeah, so he's actually
like-
Jewish, and their voices are not similar
At all, no.
whatsoever, which makes it even funnier.
Yeah,
And it's actually a really tense movie.
yeah. But it was almost like expected of a Spike Lee movie.
Yeah.
Like, there was like some social commentary.
Yeah, yeah, especially at the end.
I mean, it
like,
sounds like good.
Or even
Not-
in the middle. Like,
Definitely.
because
a movie that
I
could be
forget what
social.
part it was. It was the end or the middle, but then they like were bringing us all to like the Charleston,
yeah, they did.
Charlottesville.
I
What was
forgot
it
about
Charlesville?
that.
Yeah, Charlottesville.
Yeah.
They tied it into like Charlottesville and like Donald Trump, and I'm like, this is such a good movie, and then it just like has to bring you back to like the real world. And I was like, I didn't like that part.
Yeah.
I was like, "Dude, I'm not feeling that."
Well, I think there's a way to do social commentary and still have you in the movie. Like, Sorry to Bother You was pretty good on
That's a
that.
good movie
I
too.
liked it, but I didn't get to see it in theaters. I feel like it'd probably be better as like a big screen. Instead of,
Yeah.
Right.
I saw it in
Kinda
theaters
bootleg.
and it was
Yes,
striking.
the
wanna
one
see
of my
that.
favorite parts from Black Klansman was when Adam Driver was getting interrogated in the basement.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's like, "Come on, put on the lie detector test. Say that you're not Jewish."
He's like,
and-
fuck.
Yeah. he's like, "Come on, man." And he has him at gunpoint.
Yeah.
Jews can't
He's
lie,
like,
yeah.
"Come on, man." He's like, "Put it on." He said, "Put it on if I blow your brains out."
Come
And it's just
on,
like,
man. Yeah,
and he's
they're-
like, and like,
It's like
I'm not gonna
party.
repeat what Adam Driver said, but it was
Yeah.
it was funny, but it
aren't
was
they
very
like a party too? Like it's not.
yeah, it was like a meeting, and the guy's
Yeah, meeting.
wife
Oh,
is
so they're
like,
doing it just for fun. They weren't even suspicious of him.
no, the one guy was
One
super
guy was,
suspicious.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like that classic trope of like, they've infiltrated, but someone still isn't completely sure about
Yeah,
them.
Yeah.
and it happens to be the dumbest guy out of all of them,
Yeah,
who
yeah.
turns out to be right.
Yeah.
So like everyone's like, "Dude, shut up!" Like,
Mhm.
he's like, I don't know, and he's like,
Yeah, they're like,
he's
cool.
radical. He's really radical too, and his wife is also radical. They're just
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, they're just weird.
It was a good movie. I liked
good
it. It
movie.
was definitely in the theaters. It felt. I feel like there's a lot of white people in the theater, and you could sense like people were getting uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Really?
You know? Yeah, because slowly the laughter stopped a little bit, and
Wh-
people were
Why?
like,
Are
kind
there
of.
scenes where like white people get killed or something?
No, but I think it's just.
It's just a language.
Oh.
It's
like-
almost like not trying to baby anybody. Like
Yeah.
this is what.
Think of it like
or-
Django. It was almost like Django.
Yeah.
Like the language,
Well,
the
dude,
dialogue.
Django. Yeah, that was. I saw that in theaters. That was.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
That was a
I
good
saw
one.
that in theaters twice or once. I
Yeah.
saw it with the long one.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm thinking Hateful Eight. That's the one with
I
the
saw
inter-
that, yeah.
They
I
had
love
the
that
intermission
movie.
break in
I
it.
love that movie, man.
That's
I
a
saw
really
it
good
with
movie.
the 70 or 80 millimeter.
70
So-
millimeter.
Yeah, with the.
That's
wide
why I
shot.
saw it in.
Yeah,
It was really cool.
yeah. Same.
I think one of the most memorable lie detector scenes I've ever seen in a movie was like Ocean's 11. Remember, they hooked the one guy up to a lie detector test so he can get this job, and he has a pin in his shoe, and he pricks his toe on the pin every single answer he does.
Right.
So
Yeah.
the lie detector machine can't tell like if he's
Right.
just super nervous or if he's
Right.
lying. And I always thought like, would that work? Because that'd be such a
Yeah.
quick like way to beat
I think
a lie
'cause
detector
it-
I
test.
don't know. Would that make your heart? It senses your heart rate, right?
That's what it is. So
I don't
like
know, would that
for
make
every
it
answer,
jump,
he would
like-
just call
So
himself
he's
pain.
calls himself pain. So even
Yeah,
if it's
so-
telling the truth or a lie, it's gonna have
The
a
same
consistent
Yeah.
fluctuation.
I don't know. If that
So
would
they were
work.
just like,
I
well,
guess
we
so.
asked him if his name is his name, and he said yes, and it's
Yeah.
the same response as everything else, so he must not be lying. And
Probably
it's just
took his
like,
sock off and just bloody. It's like
He's
worth it.
walking
he's
out
like
and
this.
just, like,
He's like
blood
he's like
marks
he's like
on
shit. Oh, that, like one went through his like toe actually.
you got to do it, man. It's so weird how people figured out like
Yeah.
it's one of those things like don't you ever think about like wow somebody figured out how to make a camera, someone figured out how to take what we see with
Yeah.
our eye and put it on a picture, someone figured out like all right we're gonna make a machine and see if you're lying. Like that's so
Right.
that's so strange.
Right. Yeah, that is
Isn't that
crazy.
strange, man?
Well, it gets like cyclical, right? It comes back all the time. Like whatever was big before, I guess, kind of makes its way back again. Like audio used to be big, only radio, but now it's kind of back again. Like,
Yeah, totally.
everything kind of comes
Well,
back.
that's the whole
around.
multitasking thing, man. People are too
Yeah.
busy to watch anything. That's
I
why.
know, yeah.
You know.
I
In
watched-
my daily commute, I barely listen to music anymore.
Oh,
Really?
dude.
Yeah, well, sometimes.
I watched this movie this morning. Do you guys know who Jeffrey Wright is? Sound familiar? He's in Westworld.
Nah.
What character is he?
I try to
Bernard?
recognize him.
He's Bernard.
He's
Okay,
Bernard.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I
I
know.
know.
So he has this movie that's with HBO. I just watched it this morning. Came out I think last week. It's called OG, and he plays this character who is in his last 2 weeks, serving a 24-year sentence for killing a man, and like he's like trying to make everything go good, whatever, so he can get out fine. And like, cause he's been in jail for so long, like he's like doesn't know how he thinks being in the real world is actually scarier than being in jail
Mhm.
and stuff like that. But anyway, he meets this one guy who comes in, and he, our character used to run the prison. Like he was like the main guy. He's the OG, but then he stepped down. So this new guy comes in, and he can tell that there's about to be a race war within this prison, and they want to use this new kid, the black kid, as like a scapegoat.
Mhm.
They want him to bring in contraband and like take the fall for it, and he's like trying to be like, nah man, like don't get mixed up with them. It's like a really smart,
Mhm.
and the crazy part is the whole thing's shot in a real active prison.
That's cool.
So almost everyone besides everyone in the prison who's like acting are actual prisoners.
Kind of legit. Yeah.
So the supporting actor in this movie is in real life serving a 65-year
really?
sentence.
That's pretty.
And what's
unique.
crazy,
Yeah.
he got nominated for an award
Wow.
for his role
Couldn't
in
be
this.
here tonight.
Right.
to accept
So
Dude,
and
that's
it was
pretty crazy.
Dude, it was crazy, and like, and I think that might have been the actual prison that he was in, but
That's
he-
legit. That's not like a publicity stunt. Like that's actually.
No, it's like it's legitimate. So
Wow.
the
That's wild.
I think he was like trying to be an actor, and then he like got caught up in some like gang stuff, and he got put in prison. And he like he wrote to the director of the film, like telling the story and like had an idea. I don't know if it was like his idea of the film, but like he wanted to try out for this one part, and the director's like he loved it so much. He's like, you got it. Like we'll come shoot this whole thing in your prison.
Damn.
And dude, the movie's like nuts.
Did-
dude.
and it
It's
came
so
out already,
tense.
or-
Yeah, it's an HBO only.
Oh, nice.
I watched
Yeah,
it this
HBO.
morning, dude. It was really tense. Like,
Yeah.
and
What's the supporting actor in jail for?
I don't know. It just said I looked it up and said he's serving a 65-year sentence.
Because it'd be crazy if like that dude killed your family, and then
Yeah.
like you're watching a movie and you're like, oh hey, there's the guy that killed my family.
Yeah, I remember
He's in a blockbuster movie now.
Yeah.
He seems to be doing pretty good.
Yeah, right. Yeah, does he
No.
get paid? Probably not, right? Maybe he gets
It
like
probably
ramen
goes to
noodles,
his probably
like-
goes to his family.
Yeah, like he gets
They
commissary.
expose him
money.
to sunlight a little bit.
Yeah.
Take those breaths, boy.
Yeah.
Take those
He
fresh
gets
air
2
breaths.
extra hours of daylight, I guess.
Damn.
Yeah, they probably all money that he probably could make off of this probably gone to his family,
That's,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool.
oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that's cool. Yeah. So, what would you be your pick for the Oscars? Like, did you have one that didn't really win, or no? Think everyone
Well,
deserved it.
I didn't see the Green Book.
Me either, but I heard it was kind of pandering.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard it panders, and I'm not really
Uh-huh.
into. Remember, what was that one? There's 12 Years a Slave.
Mhm.
Never watched it because I knew it was just gonna be pandering.
Yeah,
There was what was another one before that?
I don't think it was as bad as Green Book's pandering, but yeah.
Did you see Green Book or no?
No, but I've seen like the synopsis. Like, you ever
Oh.
see when people like condense them into like
Yeah.
5-minute videos?
Yeah, it's like
It's
it
like
says
important
it
scene.
says Italian
Italian guy learns
driver
Yeah,
driving a world class black
yeah.
jazz musician or something like
Pianist.
that. A pianist in the
Yes.
South during the
Pianist.
60s or something like that.
A pianist.
He's a penis.
Isn't that what they're called?
Yeah,
Pianist.
Pianist.
yeah. They should
Pianist.
come together and come up with a different name for the piano player.
I
But
know.
yeah.
Right.
But yeah, it's like him learning that like black people aren't bad or
Right.
something.
It's like
good
it's
for
like
you.
dumb
man.
stuff like that.
Yeah, like-
Wait a second,
Yeah.
guys! I have a discovery. Black people aren't evil.
yeah.
Right.
Everyone's like
It was-
racism. Yeah, like racism is over.
They see people saying they're like,
Hey guys, racism's done. I decided.
yeah, you didn't hear.
so at least I know Black Panther won like 4 or 5 awards.
That movie deserved to win.
That came
Yeah.
out this year.
Came out February 2018.
Yeah, it came out 2018.
Felt like it came out a while ago.
I mean, I watched it on the plane to Germany. Like that's
Oh wow, that's the first time you saw it?
yeah.
Wow.
yeah, it's a good movie.
No, yeah, it was really good. I don't like superhero movies, and it doesn't feel like a superhero movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The aesthetic
It
of
actually
that
had a
movie was
story.
just
Like I don't know,
phenomenal.
man.
Yeah, it
I was
won.
Just, the designs were crazy. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if they
Yeah.
won like any kind of set.
Yeah,
design
no,
or
they
character
won
design.
anything that was like they won for soundtrack. Of course.
Big shot.
Yeah. They won I don't know if it was that one. I think it was actually the score. The score
Oh,
one. I
damn.
think the score one. I didn't look into it. They won for
Symphony stuff.
yeah, they won for set design.
That's cool.
Obviously, I think they won for costume design.
Yeah.
That was obvious. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse won best
yeah.
animated film.
Oh yeah.
To me, that wasn't even there
That-
was no
That
competition.
movie was phenomenal. I'm not sure
Really?
if
Did you
seen
see it,
It was,
bro?
it was very
No,
good.
I don't think I've seen a Spider-Man since.
Dude, it was like a
what's his name?
Saturday morning cartoon on acid. That's the only way I can describe it. It was like
Dude.
the most trippy, vibrant, crazy thing that I've seen.
Like,
It might have been the
for a
most
while.
authentic comic book
Who's
movie
the
I've
who's
ever
the
seen.
director for that? Do you know?
Oof.
I don't even know.
I don't know.
'Cause
I don't think it was
that almost
anyone.
sounds like describing like the Suicide Squad that was big.
Right.
Not
That was
the one
Zack
that squad.
Snyder.
Huh? Oh, that was. Zack.
Oh, you're talking about the cartoon Suicide Squad one, or
No, the movie that came out with Margaret Robbie and all.
yeah, that was Zack Snyder.
Yeah, that seemed like it was like a superhero movie on acid a little bit. Like.
That movie was just over the top.
This one's crazy.
Yeah, no. Well,
This,
I heard the second one flopped.
But this is like
this
this
final
is-
fight in this movie was just like, I was
Yeah.
watching it like, what in the world? Like,
Yeah.
I find this hard to
Right.
imagine, and
Right.
yet, it's one of
because
those scenes.
it's,
Like, how did someone
it
write
blurs
this?
the distinction. There's a lot of like what's that called? Something Valley, where something looks
Uncanny Valley.
uncanny valley. Because there's some parts in the film where it looks like is that real or is it like
Yeah.
animated? Like,
That's
and
pretty cool.
and they blend in all these different types of Spider-Mans. So you have our guy, then you have one who's like black and white
Dude.
from like a
They're
noir.
all from the
Yeah.
comics, so it's like
Yeah.
Spider-Man Noir,
The anime girl.
Spider-Pig, or Ham Pig.
Yeah, it's like
Um,
Porky the Pig, but he's a Spider-Man. So it actually looks like it'd be
You
a.
mean from the Simpsons movie? Spider.
No, not
No,
from
no,
the
no.
Simpsons movie. Although that's based off this character. So like
okay.
in the Spider-Man comic, the Spider-Verse is
Culture.
actually something that's like been done, and it's
Yeah.
just this whole idea that like Spider-Man exists in different realities. So there's one of him from the 1940s. There's
Mhm.
one on him with a reality that is just like Animorphs. So he's like a pig. That's Spider-Man. Like, so this movie is just
That's
all
cool,
about
yeah.
like they come together.
Yeah,
Well,
But
I
dude,
feel
the-
like I didn't hear much about these.
it came out in
at all.
December.
The
Yeah,
way
like-
the way they did Spider-Man Noir, though, not to spoil too much,
It was Nick Cage.
Nicolas Cage is the guy who voices him.
Yeah.
And dude, he's introducing himself.
Nicolas
They all have these moments where like they introduce themselves.
Like
in
how
the
they got
reality.
here.
Dude,
Yeah.
he's so funny because like
It's so
he's
funny.
like this 40s detective, and he goes, "Sometimes I take a match and burn it down in my fingers just to feel something." And, like, dude, it was,
And then it goes out and he's like, "Ow."
the writing is amazing, man. I
Yeah,
definitely
that
recommend
does
it.
sound funny.
Dude, no,
I
it was
watched
it was good and just like the quality animation. I was just like,
You know what I thought should win?
What?
Overlord.
Yeah.
No one's talking about that movie, man.
I don't. Was he even
J.J.
nominated
Abrams.
for anything?
No, I don't think it was.
It's a good movie.
I
was
heard that
different.
it was pretty like explicit though, right? I feel like something like that is kind of too
It was, like,
violent to
brutal.
amend. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
it was like
at the same time, Django and Hateful Eight.
Yeah,
I think
but-
it's different
And
when it's
Inglourious
Quentin
Basterds.
Tarantino. That's why I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I'm-
Quentin Tarantino gets a pass from the Academy.
from
Yeah,
from everyone.
they love
you
his
know?
shit.
From everyone, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Nah, I
And-
mean, it's J.J. Abrams. Like,
right.
I mean, that's. I guess it was like lasers and stuff still. Like,
I haven't
Yeah.
seen it yet, but I've seen buzz about it
but,
still.
I mean, the
like, right
opening
now.
scene almost reminded me of like the opening. You know, it's not real in comparison, but like Saving
Normandy,
Private Ryan. That
The
first,
Normandy storm
yeah.
the beach.
What happens? Like, what is it?
for Overlord or
The opening scene in Overlord.
Overlord, they're in a plane, like you know, everyone's waiting to jump out, and you know, they go through the characters, like they establish everybody, like this guy's from Brooklyn, this whatever.
Like in the cartoony like way.
No,
No,
this is a dark movie.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
it's all like you know,
Real.
no animation or anything, but
Mhm. Yeah.
and then like as they get closer over Germany, the planes start getting hit more and more, and like the tension starts rising, and then the plane gets hit, and guys are, you know, getting ripped out of the plane, and
Dang.
it kind of like then it goes from like establishing the shot to kind of attached to the guy, and it like follows him,
Mhm.
and then he gets like just basically tossed out of like this plane that's on fire, and then he's like, you know, free falling, trying to catch what's up and what's down, and like your whole like it just I don't know, for me it like makes
That's
my heart
cool.
race,
Yeah.
and then he lands in like occupied Germany, and then he's
Mhm.
got to just start fighting, and then but you know there's the whole twist of like zombies and all. It's
Yeah,
just,
it was essentially a
I
Nazi
like
zombies.
That stuff. Yeah, I like
Man.
that kind of stuff.
And
I
like,
see
because
that.
you didn't realize that it was going that way.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
no, not
oh,
at
this
all,
is Nazi zombie. It was a horror movie
Yeah, yeah.
essentially.
Yeah, it was, but it was like sci-fi almost.
Yeah.
Like, it was like an evil scientist like doing experiments on the townspeople,
Right.
and it was just it's.
I just watched
cool movie. It's a
I
cool
watched
movie.
last week
Move the mic
because
a little bit closer to you, Ben. Sorry, my bad.
I watched last week.
Just looking at your
Is this
reading.
better? Which way?
I watched last week because you just reminded me when you
Huh.
said that it made you feel way when he was falling out of the plane. I watched the Free Solo movie,
Which one's that?
the rock climbing,
Oh,
like with
Yeah.
no
What is that?
harness,
Yeah,
and
I-
that one best that one best
I saw a trailer for that.
documentary at the Oscars.
I haven't
So-
watched that, but I know it would make me. Like,
So this is
Yeah.
nuts. I forget
I
his
get that way too now. I wasn't getting like
Yeah.
the secondhand fear, but now I get the secondhand.
Mhm.
So
I like it.
so his name's Alex, and I can't remember his last name. And you know he climbed, and he climbed this
I wish I
this
remember
rock.
the name.
It was a
I-
canyon.
he climbed this canyon with no
Yeah.
Harness,
gear,
no gear. Yeah.
nothing,
Yeah.
and it was, dude, so many miles up,
Yeah.
just up,
Just with his hands too.
hands and feet.
Yeah, it's like you can't
and-
stop and go
Yeah,
back.
and so and the crazy part is like he was practicing this right with a
Mhm.
harness and stuff, and he kept falling with a harness and like attached to the sheet.
Yeah.
Right? He kept falling on certain parts, and he's like, "Dude, I don't think I can do this." Right? So he middle of the like, and
You
he has
saw
like
this too, Ben?
Hmm?
You saw this too?
No, I saw the trailers and stuff
Oh,
for
okay.
it, but
yeah, and like during some of the filming part, he had friends who died.
yeah.
Like
Dang.
not from
Yeah.
trying to do this one, but just in general, they say it's a dangerous sport.
Mhm.
So he has a girlfriend, and then she's getting into rock climbing and stuff. They start dating or whatever, and he went climbing with her 2 times, and he fell twice with no gear. He fell 30 feet the one time, and then 15 feet the other time. And he broke his foot.
I know
Right?
about the first one.
Right.
Not the other.
I'm laughing because could you imagine climbing with somebody? You're like, "How you doing?" And you look back and
You're
like,
like,
they're
"Oh,
climbing,
shit."
or all you hear is "oh," like a really muffled, like far away.
No, you hear their hands on the rock like this.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
Yeah.
so you're just looking back
And
and
he
forth.
said, and like, dude, so he had a cast on, a cast and a boot,
Yeah.
and like he didn't
He's
want to
climbing with a cast and a boot.
indoors though.
Come on.
He was
Oh.
still climbing. So anyway, the one night he's sleeping, calls the camera guy because his best friend does a documentary, and he's like, I didn't even want to do this, like, because I don't want to be able to like film my best friend's death, like if this happens, and so hits about middle of the night to go for the climb. So he's about to start this, and they set all the cameras up. He's climbing. He gets done the first part, and he's on the second part.
Is there like a rest where he can like sit for a little bit before he goes back?
There's little periods where he could rest,
Okay.
like, very small. It's
Didn't
like
he set
damn.
up like a bed kind of in the side of the wall? at
No,
one point?
some random people did. They were
Oh, that's
climbing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he and remember he wants to do this all freehand. So as he's climbing, he second guessed himself, and there was this rope there to help pull yourself up to just a little bit, and he touched it, and he was like, he pulls out the radio. He's like, "Oh, call it in." He's like, I'm done
I gotta
Like,
start
he-
over
he
because he
failed.
cheated.
because he cheated. He felt like it didn't feel right, and everyone's like, "Dude, like you can keep going." He's like, "Nah, that's not right."
Yeah.
So-
All I did was touch it.
Yeah, he touched it, and it like messed him. It messed him up
Yeah.
mentally because there were gonna be someone on there like, "Oh, well, you had help."
It would take away from his accomplishment
Yeah.
in his mind, though.
Right.
It's like the big thing.
Yeah.
So
What
check this
nerd's
out.
gonna be
So-
like, it doesn't count.
Cut-
Fat dude that never
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
did a push up. It's like,
Like,
you
yeah,
didn't
fuck
climb
off.
the tallest mountain.
Right.
Yeah. You touched
Fake.
a rope. Yeah.
Bro, and so
Fuck off.
a couple days later, he does it. He goes to redo it.
Yeah.
Dude, he's flying up this
Just
thing.
going up. Yeah.
Like, and we're talking like miles up this mountain. Like, I was like, dude, this is insane. And like, they have a long shot, and you see him, dude. He's like a speck on this thing, and he's climbing. There's people with the campsite on the mat, like on this slab.
Yeah.
They hooked.
he looks like
a-
the dude from Devilman Crybaby, just
Yeah.
going.
So, dude, because he was saying that he jams his hand in a rock
yeah.
and just like holds just like that, and he has like,
Dude, his hand must be so calloused. It must look like an
Nah,
orangutan.
dude, they
Dude,
probably
no,
like
his-
spider fingers. Or
dude, that's what I
something,
said.
like-
Dude, his hands are just naturally massive. But like even with his feet, because he's climbing with shoes on, but his foot is like on a corner of
Yeah.
a rock, and somehow he's
Dude,
able
those
to get
shoes are
so
super narrow and like hard
Right.
too in the tips. Like
Wait, is he barefoot or does he have shoes on?
his shoes on.
Okay, I was gonna say.
yeah, like rock climbing
barehanded.
shoes are like weird. They're
So-
almost like ballerina shoes. Like
Interesting.
So and then he finishes it right at the end, and he put the fastest climb on that canyon with and without a harness.
Dang.
Right, he beat both times. He did it in like 6 hours.
damn.
And I'm like, bro, like you just climbed like miles, and he did it. And then he was like, well, what's the next one?
I mean, does this guy have to go to work the next day? Like, does he
No,
work
dude,
at
'cause he
Starbucks? Like, what
makes-
does he do after that?
No, he makes money
Oh.
climbing.
Like what? He's got
Oh,
sponsors and
Like,
stuff.
yeah, he has sponsors. I think Red
Yeah.
Bull's one of them.
Sure.
So
Makes sense.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything dangerous, Red Bull's
Yeah, yeah.
like, we got it.
yeah,
Hey, you could die doing it.
Hey, are you gonna
We'll
try and
sponsor you,
commit
yeah.
suicide later?
blank check. Write the amount. Write the amount. But dude, it was
That's
No,
nuts.
yeah. I just the trailers made my heart race. I was like,
And dude,
I
when he was
don't
climbing, and they had people up there with him, but not to distract him. They just like be a little farther away. And there's just one part where, dude, he was climbing like that,
Yeah.
and I'm like, how are your feet not dangling?
That's when gravity's like really fighting you. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? When you're almost horizontal.
Right,
That's
and I'm saying,
crazy.
do you think
I mean,
he's
dude,
climbing like this, and like his feet are still sticking to the thing? I'm
Yeah.
like,
That's
like
wild.
how?
Dude, I'll never forget when I watched the Travis Pastrana documentary.
Mhm.
That's a
Um,
good one too.
Dude, that scene where he's skydiving and he just decides to jump out with no parachute.
Yeah.
And then the team came down later and caught him. And like when they landed, they tell Travis that you're not allowed to skydive ever again.
Yeah.
Like how crazy is that? How crazy is
What
that?
about
is
the guy who jumped that has the highest free fall ever from the stratosphere?
Oh yeah, that
Uh-huh.
guy. But he had like an Iron Man suit, so it's still super scary. But at least like there's some sort
He
of
jumped from
preparation.
space.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he jumped from
Space.
space.
Johnson Space Drew's like,
Yeah. with the suit he was wearing.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He had like some Iron Man suit. He was like falling down.
You're
like,
that guy. You're that guy.
so his skin didn't go on fire.
yeah, I am that guy. He didn't
touched
do
the
it right,
rope,
bro.
yeah.
He had some metal suit on.
You're the guy
Yeah,
with the
so-
ball in the movie. Too.
Right.
You're right.
Yeah, so his skin doesn't get on fire, and Drew's
Yeah.
like,
You can get a little hot. I mean, it's all right. No, you're right. I guess I was just thinking because I was watching the Burt Kreischer special recently.
Which one?
The first one, not the second one. I'm actually
Secret
in the
Time?
second one. No, the first one where he is talking
The
about
machine.
Yeah.
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 He says, he's like, the scariest part about skydiving is watching people jump out. Like, they specifically told him, like, don't watch. Because he was up next, but they were like, don't watch us get jumped out. And he said it was like people are getting ripped from the plane. And I think, like, just to see that and then to jump out with no parachute is pretty ballsy. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, the jump from space thing is cool, but, like, you probably had like days of preparation where they're like, okay, like at T-3, you're gonna press this button, and then when you press the button, you're gonna hear a beep, and then the chute's gonna come out. So it's still crazy, but just to be like, I'm just gonna jump out of this airplane and hope that people come down and get me,
Right.
like that's a little wild, man.
Right.
But I think that's also an unhealthy place to be because you definitely don't value your life if you're
Yeah.
doing that at all.
How did you know they banned him after he got to the bottom?
I think it was
I thought they
mentioned in the
would have to.
documentary
Yeah.
because they
It makes
didn't.
sense, but
They were
I
just
didn't know
like, you were not supposed to do that. And he's like, I know, but like, wasn't it rad or whatever? And they're just like, never again, dude.
Damn.
Because that's a whole legal thing. Like, he dies and the family sues, and it's just like, that's crazy.
How could they sue? I'd be like, just watch the footage. You just jumped out.
Dude, you'd be surprised. Especially in the U.S., man, you'd be surprised.
Yeah, you could sue for anything.
That's why I'm surprised, man, like, that these
I'm gonna
prank
sue you
these
guys,
prank shows, right? These prank... After
You
this,
can
guys
this
are
for
gonna
free,
get sued.
bitch.
You ever think about that? Like,
I'm allergic.
those prank shows that they do, like, on YouTube and stuff, a lot of them are fake, but the ones that are real, like, I'm surprised there hasn't been, like, a lot of lawsuits from that kind
Yeah.
of stuff.
I thought one of the dumbest ones was like, I think it was the 3 white kids like going into the hood and like doing something. Because
It's
I'm
always
like,
some stupid
because I'm like,
shit
dude, you can like, let's say if something does happen,
Right.
you're not the bad guy. You're antagonizing some random person. It's the guy who actually retaliated.
That's instantly the
Is
bad guy.
instantly the bad
Yeah.
guy. But you were bothering him.
Yeah.
like, chill, bro.
Dude,
Right.
it's just a prank, like classic.
I remember the
I
one,
hate those kids.
the one guy pulled out a gun on one of them, and he's like, yo, back up. Like, what are you doing? Back up. Like,
Yeah.
because they were bothering him, and they were like, oh, dude, it's the camera over there. It's a prank. It's a prank.
I
Yeah.
don't care.
Right.
Yeah,
Dude.
that's like the lowest common or whatever. Like that's
The
the,
lowest form of
Yeah,
entertainment.
that you could make. It's like
There-
prank videos.
There's an age group for that, though, right? Like, I don't imagine a bunch of
12-year-olds.
30-year-olds being like, whoa, check out this epic prank
Yeah.
compilation. It's all like
I'm sure like
13-year-olds.
Baby Shark kind of crosses over with that. Like,
Right, exactly.
Floss over.
Sure, man. You know, it's the kind of kids that are
Backpacking.
like, they go to like a Catholic church to skateboard, and the priest comes out and is like, "Hey, could you not?" And they're just like, "Dude, you don't tell us what to do, dude."
It's
It's
a
like,
prank.
Reminds me of mid-90s.
Dude, that movie
I
was
never,
awesome.
He's
I
like,
still haven't
fuck you,
seen it.
rent a cop.
Ben, that movie is like
I know, I've wanted
made
to
for
see it,
you,
yeah.
man. You would love because it's all about hip hop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really really great and skating.
Well, I think it was his press run that led up to it.
Talking about
Kind of
Jonah-
rubbed me the wrong
Jonah
way.
Hill?
Jonah Hill's press room.
Wow, was he trying to be like cool and
He
stuff?
was pandering, man.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if I'm just cynical now. But everything just comes off as pandering. I'm like,
I mean,
I'm like, why are you
you
trying
gotta
to just-
sell it though, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that it?
I'm
It's
like,
not
why are you just trying? Yeah, but they're like, it almost comes off.
I
as
love
too hard to-
Mob Deep.
Yeah,
and, like,
bro. Dude, 50
Bro.
cents for his album? I
Dude.
got like 5 copies. Like,
You
alright, we
listen
get
to
it,
the
man.
Nas,
Like,
dude?
Yeah,
Dude,
50
the
cents.
Nas is the best, man.
Yeah, Nasir. No, like, I don't know. He came on Bodega Boys podcast. They did like
Did he go in there?
I think he was on
Yeah.
Charlemagne the Gods,
Yeah.
right?
Like they-
No, he was on Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club.
it's like same thing, but they
That's how
Bodega
Black
Boys
called
they
it.
do like this thing called like intimate moments now, where it's like visual, but they do like 30-minute interviews. They did Jonah Hill for the first one.
For the new show, right? Or the podcast?
Well, no, it's still the podcast, but they moved studios. They were doing out
They're
of
Red Bull, and now
Yeah.
they're somewhere else.
called like Milk Studios
Yeah.
or something. But yes, now they have like video to go with the audio.
Finally.
Yeah, I know.
I
Yeah,
got.
I don't get why some podcasts don't have video. Like people need to see you.
Yeah, I
You
like
know?
video.
It's very essential for comedic podcasts because when
Mhm.
there's a laugh or a moment, you got to see it.
Dude,
Like
I
Theo
feel like I've
Von.
gone about podcasts like
That's
comedic podcasts. Oh man, like every day I listen to at least like 5 or 6 different ones.
Really?
Yeah.
Every day?
Uh-huh. Like
Yeah.
Bobby Lee, dude.
See, dude, I like Bobby Lee, but dude, sometimes I don't know what it is, man. He just
There's
like
no one like him though. That's why I like he's just like.
because when I remember
odd
when
guy.
he did him and his wife went on Theo Von's,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Theo Von
the
was like joking
Valentine
with
one?
him, maybe, and then Bobby was like staring at him for like.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
That
that's
was-
like a
that
new,
was
that's like a
weird.
newer one, but that's like their.
Dichotomy.
He was like
Yeah.
he was like
All the
first of all,
Yeah,
Theo,
Theo's always
don't
trying,
disrespect me.
Yeah, Theo's
And-
always trying to like hit on his girlfriend, so then
Right.
Bobby's always looking at him like
Yeah.
giving
Yeah.
him like the stink eye. Like I don't know, it's just funny watching those people. Like it just cracks me
But
up.
it's interesting because you start to see the characters in it, right?
Yeah.
So I was watching Alex Jones Joe Rogan because I was so
I
surprised.
watched that
I
one
saw
too.
he was back on there. I was like,
Dude,
I
as
don't
soon
wanna-
as I
Bro,
watched it,
oh my god, that
I
was
was-
it
I
was
was-
good, but it was like annoying.
I was listening very intently because I was like,
Yeah.
I know that Joe Rogan's bringing him back on because he's entertaining to watch. And I saw that, like, I saw a moment where I was like, Alex Jones is a character. Like, that's when I saw it. Like, this is all just a
Yeah.
character. And there's a bit of acting going on here.
Well-
Not really on Joe Rogan's part, but, like,
No.
Alex is playing it up because he knows what kind of platform he's on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I try and look for those
especially with the
inauthentic
Bravo
moments.
part.
Bravo.
Dude, one podcast, yeah, when Eddie Bravo,
Eddie
was
Bravo,
there, he was
yeah.
like really going over and out of the way to harass him. No. What was happening is like Eddie Bravo was making a joke at his expense, and he was pretending like
Alex
he didn't get
Jones's
it. Yeah,
expense?
he was pretending like he didn't get it, and he was just going on and on and on. My thing is like I look for authenticity, right?
Yeah.
So one thing I've talked about these shows a million times. I think the Equals 3, Ethan's podcast is really, really good.
Uh-huh.
I've recently gotten into that one. He's a legitimately funny guy,
What
and I think that
podcast?
the chemistry.
You mean Ethan and Neela?
Yeah,
H3H3?
Ethan and H3.
Oh, you
Their-
like them?
Their podcast. They're
Yeah,
funny.
they're
I
funny.
like them. And I think I agree with a lot of their opinions on
I mean,
like
dude, that
pop culture stuff.
After that, I don't know if you saw when Bill Burr was on their podcast, man.
What happened?
It was just two opposites, and they didn't like attract at all. It was just like he didn't know about H3H3, and he didn't know that they had gotten big off of like reaction videos, and he was kind of going off on tangents about how much those sucked, and like
I feel like he's
they were joking, they just weren't bouncing off each other.
No, but like Ethan's like I don't know,
That's
he's weird.
he's supposed to be weird.
He
but,
has something, right?
like Asperger's or something like that.
Yeah, he's talked about it before, I think.
I can't
Like,
speak on that.
yeah.
I know he's like clinically depressed, but like I think he's actually very funny, and I think his opinions on the stuff that goes on the internet's very accurate. Here's the thing about Bill Burr. He's kind of, in my opinion, he's good on his own. That's why his
Yeah,
podcast
yeah.
is just like him talking and stuff. Like,
Which is funny enough, yeah. Like,
which is
Him,
funny.
that's what Theo does too.
yeah,
it's the
Theo's
same thing with
great.
Chris D'Elia, right? And I'm not the biggest Chris D'Elia fan. I think he's
Yeah.
hilarious. I just can't handle him in large doses. Like
Same.
Washboard.
No, I mean,
the Eminem thing.
Yeah,
I just love the whole
Yeah.
Dent thing. Like him making fun of Brian Callen is hilarious. Like
Yeah.
I think he's a good chemistry guy, but he's one of those guys that can have a podcast by himself and just do his own thing.
Who, Brian Callen?
No,
Brian Callen's before they did Fighter and the Kid was like hilarious
Mhm.
too. Brian Callen.
mixed mental arts.
No,
And
no,
he
it's
still
called like
does
the
that.
Man, or it was like Man Time or something.
something silly,
It was
right?
weird, yeah.
It
He
was-
always has something with man in it.
Yeah,
but,
he's always like obsessed with like being masculine or whatever. But that's the other
But, yeah.
podcast I was going to point to. Fighter and the Kid. I'm a huge fan.
They have that.
They have that
equation down.
chemistry, man.
Yeah.
And I think King and the Sting also has that
That's
chemistry
what I was
now.
gonna say. Yeah,
That
I've
has-
been hooked on that.
that's
Have
huge.
you watched that?
No,
Theo
I
Vaughn
haven't.
and Brendan Schaub.
Oh
Brandon Shaw.
yeah, I didn't know
Yeah.
it's called King and the Sting.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
where-
I thought that was on Brendan Schaub's
Oh no, I think it's
What's Brendan Schaub's show called?
Below the Belt.
Yeah, below the belt it says martial art one, and then you have Fighter and the Kid, which is
That's
Yeah.
that's the
Brian
one, Fighter
Nah,
and the
man,
Kid.
I'm not watching Joe Rogan until he brings on Kanye like he promised.
Callen. Dude, do you?
I think it's more so on Kanye.
I was just about to say, there's no way that it's him. You know.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
Joe will definitely clear
he'd-
whatever schedule he
Dude,
has.
he'd
that's
bring on
true.
Donald Trump. He would bring on whoever. Like, I do believe that. You know, I
Yeah.
don't believe that part.
When did he
is
bring
an
on
act.
Trump?
No, I said he would.
Oh, he would,
bring
yeah.
Yeah,
on
he
anyone,
would probably
man.
bring on
Yeah.
the biggest.
Know
person
who
he
actually
could.
has a really good podcast? You both are gonna probably eye roll, but Logan Paul. No, because Joe, check this out.
You made
So,
me do it.
Here's the reason I say that, because the two people that are on the show with him, one's his roommate who's a really smart kid,
Mm.
another one's his manager who's also pretty smart. So it's
Mhm.
those three, but they had the Kent State gun girl on, Caitlin Bennett.
Yeah.
They had her on the show, and they were talking to her.
Yeah.
Dude, she's weird, man. So she plugs. She's like, "You guys want some of the essence of Alex Jones?" And they're like, "What?" Like, and she brings out this white powder, and they're like, what is that?" She's like, "It's the essence of Alex Jones," and it has like InfoWars on it and like Alex Jones' face. And it's like, it's stuff you put in your. It's like
It's like protein powder.
no, like energy, like kind of like the Mio, like the
Oh.
like
yeah.
those flavor
Yeah,
things
yeah.
that change your water
That's weird.
and give it like energy, kind of make it
Yeah.
like a juice, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but
Who
anyway,
says that?
they were talking to her about her. Dude, she's radical too about her gun ideas and gun legislations.
She's like
what she
for
thinks.
guns or against guns?
No, she's 100% for guns.
Oh, yeah.
She
It's like,
is
why are you bringing her on a podcast?
no, because they wanted to talk. Because the one kid wanted to talk to her
Yeah.
and see why she's so adamant about like guns and stuff like that. Because the one guy, I'm pretty sure he lost someone in the Las Vegas
Oh,
shooting.
Yeah.
So he was like saying, "Oh, like what should we do?" Blah blah. It was actually like a really informative talk.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she was saying, "Well, we need guns for our like tyrannical government.
Mhm.
Like the government's no one's friends and stuff like that." And she's like, "TSA should be abolished. Like it should be private owned and stuff like this." And she was like, "They were like, well, no, having a militia." Like to go against the military, that's like dangerous. Like what you're saying is dangerous. Like we need to have both sides to come together and
Yeah.
to compromise. She's like, no, we're done compromising. And they're like, you sound really dangerous
Well,
right
I
now.
mean, like that's a good podcast guest in my opinion because
It is a good podcast, guys.
you bring on someone crazy, right? And they're
Yeah.
respectable. I'd bring on crazy people if it wasn't at my parents' house, right? I'm serious. Like I'd bring on the
Yeah.
craziest guy because I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I don't. It's not like I have
Mom
kids
opens
or
the door. It's like
yeah, dude. I can't have someone knowing where my
guys
parents
want
live. You know what I'm
meatloaf?
saying? Like
Yeah.
that's not a good look. But yeah, you can bring crazy people on, man.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan's done that 1,000 times, dude. They,
Yeah,
they
it
brought
was
on
just-
they brought on a ghost hunter one time on Fire
Yeah.
and the Kid, and they were just like,
Did
oh,
they?
no. Yeah,
Did they?
that was an older episode, man.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
2016.
I was gonna say I can't think of too many podcasts that have like challenging opinions brought on.
Brilliant idiots have a lot, but they're
Well,
just
yeah,
like-
Brilliant Idiots. Yeah, that's almost like a niche little one in itself.
I'd say
I
my
like Flagrant too.
yeah,
I
my
really like
all-time favorite podcast though is the Church of What's Happening Now. Joey
Yeah.
Diaz has the best podcast, man,
Yeah.
because like
Mine's Joe Budden.
he just breaks down life, but he does it in such a way that's matter of
it's
fact.
raw. Like
But it's every episode has like a life lesson thing
Yeah.
to it, and it's very very funny. And I
Dude.
think that like it's you learn, but you also just get a lot.
you
of
guys ever heard of
humor.
Kill Tony?
Yeah, that Tony Hinchcliffe is
Yeah,
Tony Hinchcliffe's
Where he
podcast.
just it's like so for anyone that doesn't know, it's like he hosts his podcast at comedy clubs.
Comedy
you know?
Store.
Yeah, at the Comedy Store a lot most of the time. But he has like a bucket of names that people sign up
Mm.
just in the crowd, and then he has like a band, and the band will like chime in sometimes.
That's
but,
cool.
But then he just picks a person out of the hat. Then they have to come up and do a minute set.
Oh,
and
like
it
comedy.
it could be someone that it could be their first time, someone
Mm.
that's been on the show before, like. But then he gets a comedian to come like sit on the panel with him. So he's gotten H3H3. He's gotten
Oh, that's
Tom
cool.
Segura,
Yeah.
Brett or Bert Kreischer, Bert Chrysler, everybody like. But it's such a weird like situation to see through video, like someone just being put on the spot, in
Yeah.
front of because just that setup when people go up to talk, it already makes everyone in the crowd not laugh. So
Right.
like
Yeah,
pretty much everybody bombs. Like it's such a almost like it's a weird thing
Stand-up's
to
hard
watch.
to do, and then
Yeah.
you have a minute, so it's like you gotta just tell a really
Dude,
crazy
it's
story.
like watching like a train wreck after a train wreck after a train, and like
But that in itself is funny. So
yeah,
I
no,
see why
it is
people
funny.
watch,
Yeah,
Mhm.
and they're coming to Philly like I think in like a week or two. I wanted to go, but I'd be tempted to put my name in there and then
Dude,
just like
put your name in
and then
there,
just
man.
stand up there and not say anything.
It's
Hi, name's Ben.
Just like throw up.
He'd be like, I'm Jewish, and they'd be like,
Yeah, just say something that like people can relate to, like
Yeah.
in Philadelphia, and you automatically get something. Woo, yeah, I hear that.
So, Rocky, cheesesteaks or something.
No, I mean, I
Yeah,
think
like-
I brought a stand-up comic on here before. She
Mhm.
she does like shows around and stuff, and that's tough, man. You know,
Yeah.
that's a weird
you gotta be
little world.
on, man.
Well, dude,
You have to be on.
You have to be able to combat people. That's like the thing I
Yeah.
really
You gotta be
admire.
quick.
Like, Patrice O'Neal, he's like probably one of my favorite comics ever, man. His
dude,
all right,
he
so
could shut down other comics. Like,
his-
not even just hecklers.
if he was
like,
still alive, his podcast would be the best because Black Phillip show was amazing. I still
Yeah.
listen to that now. And
Yeah.
that's how funny it is. But like he
Damn.
gave the best advice ever for bombing. He was like, when you're bombing, you take both grenades, you flip off the caps, and you throw them both down. You just go at the crowd 100%. He's like,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they're not gonna like you. And that's what Bill
Uh-huh.
Burr did with that whole like Philly thing.
I was
Remember?
gonna say, well, I don't know if I told. Well, I asked for his number. For some reason, I didn't have your number in my phone.
It's okay,
but,
dude. We're just
because I
not
want to tell you
close
about that
anymore,
show, the I'm Dying Up Here.
Yeah,
It's on Showtime, but it's like about like stand up and stuff.
Mhm.
But it's kind of funny just seeing like them going on these road trips and then getting like beers thrown at him and people heckling him. And,
Yeah.
like the one guy, he's like doing a set, and this guy in the crowd like hits his son or something. He just like starts going off on that guy, and it's just like it's just a crazy show. But like Andrew Santino's in it, and his podcast is great too. It's
Yeah.
new, but
I've heard about that kid.
Whiskey Ginger, I think it's called. But
yeah.
yeah, like Joey Diaz has like some cameos.
Yeah.
Dom Irera, bunch of people.
Ari Shaffir had a great show that I Can't Believe This Is Happening, where comics would have to come up and tell like a really crazy story from
Yeah,
their
they
life.
kicked him off.
I think Comedy Central had that show, and then they canceled it.
No, they didn't cancel it. They removed him as the host.
Really?
Yeah, and
Oh.
made it Ron Wood Jr.
That
I don't know if you
sucks,
know
man.
Ron Wood Jr. But yeah, he's he just got removed, and then
That's the
new
whole
season I
network
think.
thing,
So
man.
They're like
happening, but-
yank.
yeah. I don't know why, but
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Speaking of someone hitting their son, I have a crazy story I thought about the other day. I used to
I'm like
be a-
salivating. I need to do it.
Dude, I used to be
Who got hit?
Yeah,
I used to be a lifeguard at.
She
at-
got it. He got it.
I was thinking about this the other day, man. I used to be a lifeguard at Sesame Place, and
Same.
I was on. Were you really?
Yeah.
We
I was.
talked about
You know how I
this.
used to be on like slide duty by like the counts, like
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, dip.
1, 2, 3, dip.
Dude.
I
I was on. That's the sound that the big buckets
It's
that
like
fill up in the water
animatronic.
park.
Like,
No. You know the big buckets that fill up in like water parks
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like dump.
yeah.
You would hear the count say 1, 2, 3, dip, and the whole thing would drop. Hit these kids, bro. So
And you're just standing there,
Drives
just
you
mean
crazy,
mugging like
yeah.
I hate. That's the 19th time I heard
Dude,
that.
I wish
in an
that
hour.
buck would fall.
this was a really crazy time. So like, kids would go up. Kids would
Mhm.
go up on the slide.
You
and
call Code Snuffy?
dude, they would wait. I'm not even about to, because I have a story about that. But like,
yeah.
kids would come up on the slide, right? And there's a whole line, so it's taking like 15 minutes for these kids to come up, and then they would get ready to go on the slide, and they get super afraid. Remember, they're just like, I don't want to go, and the mom would be
Yeah.
like, dude, like, I waited 15 minutes to get you up here, so I'm
I just go like this. Yeet.
I'm up on another
Can't deal with it.
another water slide, and I'm watching a situation.
Right.
I'm about to come to that, and I'm looking at the water slide across from me, and sure enough, there's a kid that doesn't want to go. Right.
Right.
So the dad is like, "Come on, man, go down the slide," and the kid's like, "I don't want. I'm afraid." And the dad behind him pushes his kid.
Whoa.
Oh.
He just steps in and pushes his kid. Right.
Wow.
The dad goes down the slide, doesn't say anything. Then I watch them wait at the bottom of the
Yep.
slide for the other kid and the dad that pushed his kid. Bro,
Tell-
and they get to scrapping. Now listen,
In the wave pool, like at the
dude, at the bottom,
They're like this.
yeah.
dude, they get to scrapping. They start yelling and then they start fighting.
Like,
Right.
somebody hit somebody.
The
Damn.
wife of the dude that pushed the other dude's kid
Yeah.
runs out into the water towards the fight. The angry dad,
Right.
the dad whose kids got pushed, punches the wife in the face.
Ooh.
By accident. He meant to punch the other dad.
Right.
Bro, it was like we did like
Wow.
30 million whistle blasts. There's kids running, bro. Like
Dude, how many world stars?
it was like probably like
Just
3 World
echoing
Star
through the
footage.
park.
Dude, there's probably like 3 different angles of it, man, bro.
Damn.
I'll never forget that. And I was just thinking to myself, like, who would push the other kid down? The dad
Yeah.
was that impatient that he just stepped in and pushed someone else's kid.
Like,
Like, what did he think was gonna happen?
Yeah,
He was
did he
gonna,
think
thanks for
that-
pushing my kid.
Yeah,
You're like
yeah.
such a coward.
yeah. I couldn't bring myself to do it. Thanks.
Yeah.
Like-
Dude, I
What
saw
a
all sorts of stuff at
fucking- what a
Sesame
psycho.
Place,
Right,
man.
man.
One
Damn.
time, so the whole code, I'm gonna divulge this information. I don't work there anymore.
So I know the Code, Big Bird, Code Elmo. I know those ones.
Oh, yeah,
We had talked about
Mhm.
that.
So
before,
Snuffy
but-
is the elephant. He's the woolly mammoth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's that hair?
So no, he just looks like a big old piece of
Yeah, yeah.
poop.
When someone poops.
That's Code Snuffy,
Big
and then
old
Elmo's
dude.
Throw-
blood. Big
yeah.
Bird is pee.
Throw up was Zoe.
Zoe, yeah,
What
because
about
Zoe's an
Oscar? Is there
orange
a Code
character.
Oscar?
There's
I
some
don't know.
trash in the pool. We got an
The
Oscar.
dirty kids in the pool.
Kid from
so-
Charlie Brown. You
Yeah.
can see like filth, just like ugh.
Slime going.
Dude, I called in a Code Snuffy one time, man. I saw
Damn.
this thing floating.
I called in Code
I thought
Snuffies
it
when there wasn't a Snuffies.
Really?
Yeah, just to get out of the pool.
You serious?
Caught it like once.
Who
Oh,
poops in
okay.
a pool though?
Dude,
Many.
kids, man.
Many
Why?
poop in the
Kids,
pool.
man, they
Just
just
get
they
up.
get around
Even
that
ones that
warm
weren't even
water.
in the pool that were close enough, I'd
They
be
just
like,
they went over to the pool.
Bro, I saw this.
But-
I saw this Code Snuffy floating around. I thought it was a cookie. I thought someone dropped a cookie in the pool.
so
down
she was
there.
like, I'll throw this out.
You just take a bite.
Bro, this thing was a full fledged. It looked like
Damn.
it looked like a butterfly cocoon. I was like, oh snap, bro. I
Yeah,
called it
some more
immediately,
fiber in
man.
that.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like, damn, like this is the job I work right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But at least I get to talk about it on my podcast.
Yeah, no, dude.
In about 5 years.
That wasn't the thought, man. It was just straight depression.
Yeah, I hate my life.
I saved some lady too. Did you ever have to like save somebody?
Yeah, it was a small woman. She was like, dude, she was like, she clawed at me like a cat, and I was like, can you stop?
I had the same experience with a huge lady, dude. She was
Clawed up you like a cat.
What the thing is, like
Yeah, I
when you're
wouldn't
trying to
Like
do
see,
that.
she's like, and I'm like, I run over, and then she's like, I'm like,
Like-
and I had sunglasses on. I feel her finger like hit my eye, and I was
Ugh.
like, lady,
Like-
can you please stop?
Like, was the only thing that drew you guys to this job is that it was like by a pool and it was outside and you don't have to really.
Yeah, so
much,
I applied
I
to
guess.
I applied there. Where I applied? Six Flags there.
Yeah.
The Shore, and
Classic.
the one
dude. I
Ben
mean,
Ben Salem.
here's the
Yeah.
thing: you're a kid. You would think that working at an amusement park would be fun. Like you don't think of working
Yeah,
at an amusement park as
because
it
you've only
being-
been there as the attendee before.
Right.
That's true.
But then the
100%.
lifeguards have to go on the parade route and
Yeah.
just stand
Yeah,
there
and just stand
Well,
there.
So
every
that was your high
day.
school job, right? This was your high
Yeah.
school.
That for me, that was freshman year in
Oh,
college.
too?
I
Yeah.
was. It was the summer before college. I had that
Yeah,
job.
see, like I delivered pizzas and it was like doesn't sound nearly as bad as what you guys
no,
went through.
yours
but
is probably cool. You could probably listen to music.
literally,
People
you
probably
just,
tipped you out
your
because
car
nice.
is your office pretty much. You just like
Yeah,
just
dude.
throw receipts and whatever.
That's the way I should have done
Yeah.
it, man.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's like no one's really watching you. Like,
Yeah.
You barely have a manager.
Isn't your first job as a kid so weird because you think you have to take it so seriously?
Yeah.
Like the first few
Yeah.
days, you're like, dude, I can't mess this up. I can't get fired. And then a weekend, you're like,
You're
bro, a job is just like what you can get away
And
with.
then you realize your coworkers are like on drugs or stuff too.
Right.
Like no one's
Yeah.
actually paying
First time,
attention.
because my first job was
Like-
at Bella Pizza.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was a-
Everyone's- yeah, I feel like
I was a
everyone
bus
goes
because they hired us at 14
Yeah.
and 15.
Yeah, I-
So
Is Bella the one?
right next to Tanning on Street Road, across the street from
By A&S?
Armstrong. No, literally across the street from Armstrong.
What's the one by A&S? Or not A&S, the Celebrations, like up the hill a little bit.
the pizza place?
Yeah, it's on the
La
corner in the
Chena?
back. Is that yeah?
Lachena?
That's my first job. I
oh,
was
snap.
14.
Yeah, so I was a busser and then I became like a cook for a little
Mm.
bit. But dude, it was funny because me.
You were cooking the pizzas?
No, I was doing like sandwiches. No, but I actually did cook. I actually did cook a couple pies.
Bro, did you just embellish your role at the, at the pizza place? Dude, I was a cook.
You see how
Bro,
defeated
did you make
sound, too?
pizza?
He's like,
Nah, I was making sandwiches.
No, like cheesesteaks.
He's
and
like,
like
okay,
sam-
gotcha.
I
sandwiches.
just mean sandwiches.
No, but I mean,
You sound defeated.
Yeah, that's why-
no,
that's why I was
thinking,
laughing.
because I was thinking, I'm like, what else did I do there? But
was
that was the
that?
first place I ever got drunk.
Oh, what?
Well, there.
Wait, on the job?
Yeah. So there was this
Yeah, 14
there was this
year-old
kid.
drunk on the
There was this kid. I don't know if he was a junior or senior at
Yeah.
Ben Salem, and it was me, Danny Medina, and this
Oh.
kid.
Nice.
And so we're young,
Okay.
and he
Yeah.
brings in like Mad Dog.
Oh,
He had
no.
like
Yeah.
4, and I was like, "What is this?" He's like, "Oh, Mad Dog." He's like, "They're bum wine."
It's like a sweet.
Right. So he gave me. He's like, "You want the orange one?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll take the
Yeah, I'll
orange
take
one."
the orange one.
So drink it. I'm like, "Dude, this tastes amazing. Like it tastes like juice." Dude, I fucking finished that thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I chugged that thing,
Ugh.
and Danny chugs his. Next thing you know, we're working. I'm like, "You're." I was like, "Whoa."
You were smashed?
Dude, I was
That's
smashed.
why you called it bum wine.
Yeah.
That's-
Wow.
Dude, I
it's
was
very unique.
smashed.
At the pizza job, were you
Yeah.
like low key panicking?
And then, well, the boss wasn't there. Then the boss showed up. So Danny and I ran outside and we threw up.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we came back in and like I was still like kind of drunk, and he's like yelling at us because about the trash and like we didn't clean some tables, but we're having a hard time functioning right,
Right, because you guys are turned.
now. Yeah, dude.
That sounds like a bad
I was,
threw
time.
up.
I
Yeah,
was,
fuck.
I was horrible. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, this is terrible.
Horrible time, man.
That was the first time you got drunk?
I think that was the very first time. Yeah,
Damn.
I was 15.
That's late for County Down, too.
That's early.
That's crazy.
God damn, that's some of the sweetest kids
Yeah,
there. your neighborhood was worse.
No, it's just because we were connected to some
I don't
other.
even-
Well, Kevin Tibby, that's the first place I got drunk at.
How old were you?
Middle school. Probably 15, something like
Yeah,
that.
it's 15.
His brother bought us all 6 packs of Corona.
Dude, cool, bro.
Yeah.
How many did it take for you to get?
I think we all drank
smashed?
like 4. Like, there's no way we could drink 6, but
Right.
I just remember he he was his brother's name Jason? We were all drunk and he just speared Ed Kleiss out of his chair. We were like, oh my
Did he
god.
break the chair?
Yeah, I think because he had those big high chairs, and
I'm laughing because I'm imagining no motive for this.
it was
he
just like
did it.
it was like one of those scenes where you're just like. You're like a middle school
Right.
kid, like
Yeah.
not sure what to do,
Yeah,
or like
right.
drinking, and then like
Yeah.
this
You're
like older kid,
this is happening.
yeah, and he was like threatening to like punch us and like stopping.
I remember
short,
one of the first times. I think we both might have smoked. It was like it was me, you, I think Butch.
I've never smoked in my life.
The first time I ever got drunk, it was when my dad told me in 12th grade that he was going to take me to Japan. So I was like 18 at the time, and I'll never forget this. Like, we finally get there, and you're super tired when you get there,
Yeah.
right?
It's like a
And-
24-hour.
Yeah, and I was just like,
trip.
"Are we gonna go to sleep?" And he's like, "No, like we're gonna go to a bar." And I was like, "Okay." And dude, I've never had like any like sort of like drinking experience. Like I've
Right.
just drank like wine, dude. It was
Right.
so crazy.
Yeah.
I got drunk for the first time with my dad,
In
and like
Japan.
watched him get drunk, and it was so weird. It was
Yeah,
such
I
a
gotta match that energy.
dude. No, it was a revolutionary moment for me because I was just like, the parental facade starts to fade away, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
like my parent is just like a person.
Regular
Like,
guy.
that's what I started
You're
to think
just
about.
an older person. Than
Yeah.
like, that's it. Like,
Dude,
it's
it was
not-
it was a
Mhm.
crazy revelation, and I was just
Mhm.
like, wow, like this is so weird.
I just you know what's funny about that?
Yeah.
So like, it really resonates when you go into the workforce
Mm-hmm.
for some, and then you're working with people who are like close to double your age or
Right.
like
Oh, yeah.
just older, and then like even around your parents' age, you're just like, because I know you probably work with older people. I work with
Dude,
older
I got a
people.
lot of people that I mean I'm probably the third youngest.
So
Yeah,
in
I
my
am
in
the
my in my
youngest, yeah.
department, I think I might be the second youngest,
Mm-hmm.
second or third youngest.
Yeah.
And when you see people who are around your parents' age, and then you realize that they're just like normal. It's like weird.
Yeah.
There's like a weird duality.
Well, yeah, because for how many years you just grow up thinking like they know more things and they
Right.
understand what's going on, but really,
No.
Yeah.
not much.
They don't,
Yeah.
The thing is, like, they don't know anything, but they
Yeah.
have to try and hide it
They
from
have
you.
to,
Like,
yeah.
that's the crazy part. But
Yeah.
the even weirder thing about working with people that are older than you at a company is you're like, dude, they started off as you when they came
Mhm.
here.
Right.
And then you're like,
Green
that's the big
green
moment where
thumbs.
you're like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Green
man.
thumbs. They've been there
Dude,
for a while.
I have a coworker. She's probably like mid 60s, I think.
Wow.
But she's been working in this area of expertise for probably like 40 years, something like
Wow.
that. And she said like, so it's like media buying, so for like commercials and everything, where media buyers actually used to be like, the well-respected people, so they would get trips to Africa and Disney World and all these different places. And she said like, when she got started, she barely had any experience or anything. And I think after her first year, they sent her to like Spain for like a week, and like all
Right.
expenses,
Wow.
could use the card, all this stuff. But now, my department, media buying, we find tickets and trips for the higher ups, and we don't get anything.
Whoa.
Yeah, everything gets just passed through us. Like literally, we get emails like so blunt, like, I want 6 tickets to the Eagles game. Find them by Friday or something.
Dang.
And I just ignore them. Like, I don't do it. But I'm not gonna benefit. Or,
It's like, fuck you, Joe from accounting.
yeah. Probably not even gonna go to their seats or anything. Like,
Right.
but yeah. So now it's just like she's seen it from being like the rock star in the company.
Everyone probably wants Phillies tickets now.
Yeah, dude. Well, I'm going to spring training next week.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm going for a week.
Who you
and,
going with?
just a couple guys from Kutztown that I went to school with. But
Oh, cool.
Coach
yeah, we're
Town.
pretty important. But we're going to Clearwater. Some of the best beaches in the country.
Oh, I like that.
TripAdvisor just rated it.
That's just about around the
I check.
internet.
Yeah, I get the email
So,
blast.
so,
every
bro, so
once
where'd
in
you
a
see that kayak?
while. Orbit stock.
Orbit.com.
Dude, buying plane tickets is like nerve wracking.
Why?
I
That's my favorite
I
part.
feel like I was gonna mess it up and like
It is.
buy a plane ticket from Florida to Philly or like New
Really?
York to Florida or something. Like I just kept checking the details over and over again. I just don't
Hmm.
trust myself. Or
I
something.
did
The thing that worries me more than the ticket is like, is my luggage good so I don't have to pay extra?
Yeah,
That bothers me. Like, I'll literally lose sleep over that. It's like, is this less than 50 pounds?
yeah, I'm flying Spirit too. So
Here's a fun little story.
it's gonna suck.
Hope the goat next to you is all right.
One time I was this is right before I got the job I have now. I was flying to Michigan for a friend's 24th birthday, and my buddy was like, "These are the tickets we're gonna buy. It's on Spirit. We always fly super cheap." He's like, "So buy them now. so everything's cool. You ever have those moments where like you thought you bought something online, but like you didn't go all the way through like the confirmation screen? Like you put all the information in, you said go, and like there's still this like
There's like one last button. To
yeah,
press
that's
or
like,
something.
are you sure you want to do this?
Yeah,
Like,
it's like,
and then you just like
yes.
whatever. Like you thought you already bought it, bro. Weeks went by, and I did not buy these tickets, but I thought I did. So
Yeah.
it's like 3 days before we're about to leave. And he's just like, let's just sit down here and just like look at our tickets and get our itinerary together. And I was just like, I can't find my ticket. So I'm going through like my email. I can't find it. Can't find any of the stuff. Right. So I called Spirit, right? Because I was like, I swore I bought them. And I'm talking to them. I was like, look, I'm trying to get on this flight. This is the exact seat I bought. I remembered like the order and everything.
Right.
And the guy was like, hey man, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, there's nothing I can do, blah, blah, blah. But he was like, very thick Indian accent, and this is Jay. You met Jay before,
Right?
So he's sitting down here and he's listening to this guy like talk to me, and he was like, "Give me the phone," and I was like, "Why?" He's like, "I can hear like an Indian accent," and so he picks up the phone, like starts talking to him in like Punjab or whatever dialect he's talking to him. Dude, and the conversation gets tense. Like he starts like yelling at him and stuff like that, and I'm like, "What in the world is going on?" Dude, he got the tickets. I don't know how he got the tickets. I had to pay for them, but like he got the exact seat, the exact spot, everything. It was crazy.
Wow.
But I was so nervous because like they poured a lot of money into like the hotel and like everything we're gonna stay and everything we're gonna do. So I get nervous too about that. I get nervous with movie tickets.
Right.
Like sometimes I'm like, did I buy that movie ticket? Like I don't even know. You know.
I think when we went to Germany, that whole process was pretty easy.
Yeah, except for the flight back. I was the only one that got stopped and processed through security.
Dude, when they do that, it's so crazy.
Yeah,
They
literally
just stop.
Sheldon
It's
goes
just
strolling
annoying.
through, not giving a shit. Oz goes through, Shane, and then they're like,
They're like
yeah,
this.
they
They're
stopped
like,
me, like-
first name Ben, last name Blumenthal.
Blumenthal.
they're like Blumenthal.
yeah, we don't like your
Step-
kind.
step
Yeah,
this-
they have
step
a
this
southern
roads, or-
accent in Germany.
Yeah, this is in
Huh?
Germany.
No, this is in Germany.
I was
We
gonna
like
say.
your kind.
He was detained for
Yeah, no,
what?
they made me take my shoes off. They checked my socks.
Dude, you
They-
should have pulled World War II out immediately.
Yeah.
Right then and there.
like,
You should be
my
like-
people.
You should be like, I see what's going on here.
Yeah,
That's how
yeah.
you should have been.
I'm not going into any room.
Bro, you should. I think we said this before, but you should saw how tight Ben was when we went to It's not funny at all, but just thinking about it's
I
kind of
find
funny.
it
It's
I don't even know what
when
it
we
is,
went
but-
to the murdered Jew place,
Oh,
and
yeah,
like
man.
so we're having like Ben's having like a
crazy.
sentimental moment. There's just
Yeah.
kids just running through
Yeah.
this place, sitting on top of the
Yeah,
monuments.
people like jumping across, standing on it, like
yeah.
taking a shit. Like it was just people.
Really?
No, they weren't taking a shit, but they might as well have been. Like, they were like, the people were just like they had no sense of respect or anything.
Right.
It
I
was
think
just-
about that too. Obviously, this is really different. The example I'm about to give, because like what
Yeah.
happened there is an atrocity. But
Yeah.
I think about how like people go and like hook up at like cemeteries and like run around cemeteries.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, these are like people that are dead that
Yeah, it's
had
weird.
families and people
Yeah.
loved, and like you're playing catch in a cemetery. And, like,
yeah, it's creepy.
And then we found that church that
that church was wild. Like
the
You
one
could
that you guys
feel-
always talk about, like the bullet holes and stuff.
You
Bro,
feel like
it
a
was like,
thickness in it.
what,
Yeah.
dude? Because we just like, dude, this is a sick looking church. Then we meet the guy. He's like, would you guys like to know about the history of the church?
it was
And we're
almost like you press X, like yes.
Yeah.
I want to hear more.
And
Wanna
he's
go
talking
down
talking
this
about the church, and he was like, I used to live in America. I used to live in Jersey. And we're like, oh, that's
Like,
amazing.
what?
He's like, so what do you guys think of the church and the organ player? And we're like, oh, it's beautiful. He's like, it has dark history. And then he just like goes in, and we're just like,
It has a dark history.
we're just like, he's like, the Nazis used to hang at the top of it and just like point guns down. We're just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and there's an execution wall outside.
Yeah.
We're like, what was that, dude?
Yeah.
We saw Martin Luther King outside this place, and we were just
Yeah.
like, this is pretty cool.
It's crazy to
pretty
see
creepy,
people
yeah.
walking casually through like a very violent space.
Yeah.
Like this again is not a. It's not an example that's on par with what you guys just gave. But like when I went to Rome and I went to the Colosseum, everyone's like, "Wow, I'm having a great time." Like they're taking pictures. I'm like, dude, people were murdered here for fun.
Right.
Like this
Yeah,
whole
like pushed off a cliff just to
dude, yeah,
literally
this
just to watch 'em
whole
fall.
this whole thing that you're
Yeah.
in was just like to watch people fight animals, and like to watch people
Yeah.
fight,
Man
watch-
versus a tiger.
to watch really weak people fight like giant monsters of people, like just to watch people get demolished. And it's
Yeah.
weird because I always think about it this way, like with the cemetery example,
Mhm.
like yes, you're supposed to have an air of stoicism about you when you go to places like this,
Mhm.
but I also think about like the attitude of people who are dead.
Right.
Like, what do you think they think about what's going on? Like, wouldn't they want to see happiness come to a place that was so sad before? Like,
Right.
would they really want that place to be stained with sadness? Not that disrespect is
No.
permissible, because that's not.
No, I mean,
But I'm saying,
that's a nice thought.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about it that way, but
you know what I'm saying? Like,
But
the
what's-
laughter of children in a place where like
Yeah.
people were murdered.
and also
is
kids
But
aren't
what's-
going to
but-
understand the
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's
severity
the
of
thing. The
whatever
kids that we're
happened.
talking about, they were like young,
Yeah, but
so
then,
they obviously
but
were
not even just
born
that,
in like.
man. I was seeing like people my parents' age, like
yeah.
tourists.
Dis-
it
dis-
looked like
disrespect
mostly
is-
it was more so-
disrespect
it was-
is not
it
permissible.
looked
Yeah, it
like
was
people
more
with
so
cameras
tourists.
around the neck.
But like,
Mhm.
what's crazy about that? Like, you went to
Yeah.
Coliseum. The Coliseum, like all that stuff took place like hundreds of years ago. Whereas we're talking like this is like
That's what I'm saying.
80.
yeah, like 80
And
years
obviously
like
that was
80
very
years?
racially
Yeah.
motivated. I'm not saying it's a on
Yeah.
par example. I'm
Right.
saying like when you walk through a place where something terrible has happened and there's like children laughing, like I feel like that negates.
Well, I mean, you've probably seen it. Well, sorry, I didn't mean to cut
No,
you
no,
off
no,
or
no.
anything. But in Japan, there's things like that, right? Where
yeah,
it's super touristy. Like anywhere there's a lot of tourists, you lose that sense of like
yeah.
understanding of why this is here and what it's for. Like,
There's,
But the weird thing is like Germany's like I don't because I haven't been to Japan yet, but I feel like Germany might be different because the whole country was a war zone. So it's like there
Yes.
was so many areas, even in Berlin that we
Yeah.
went to, and destruction was there.
yeah,
Like even the wall,
Still
we went to that
bullet
one
holes,
part
yeah,
at the wall, and it's like kids were drowned here. Like people were hopping over the wall,
yeah.
and there's this big part where people today, they're just
They just go swimming.
they go swimming, they're kicking their feet, they're having
Right.
a smoke, whatever. That was in between the walls. That was the execution zone. If
Yeah.
you were caught in between there, you were shot like
Mhm.
instantly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And like now, it's just like
yeah. Things
a hangout spot.
It's
It's so weird.
in Tokyo. I'm not sure if you've seen this. The biggest mural in Tokyo is in a subway station, and it's like a picture of like a dude going like this, kind of very impressionist. So it kind of looks like a white, almost like crash dummy, and he's on fire. And all it is just like it's enormous, and it's obviously about Hiroshima. And it's crazy because I went there to go look at it, and I thought a bunch of people would be looking at it too. But people just walking by, like
Right.
just a ton of people walking by. And my brother and my dad started to get into an argument about like Hiroshima like wasn't necessary. And I was just thinking like the fact that people are walking by and going about with their lives is what those Japanese citizens, in my opinion, I can't really speak on it, would have wanted. Like they would have wanted society to progress. Like they would have
Right.
wanted society to go on, to like Japan to thrive, like
Right.
far after this tragedy.
Yeah.
So the fact that people are walking by and not like lamenting
attention, yeah.
still is just like a testament to that was a horrible thing that
Yeah.
happened, but like Japan survived and got stronger.
See,
I think it's the same thing with
But
Germany.
see, the thing that I'm just thinking is like, maybe it's just the way that monument is also built, for the Jews. Like,
yeah,
it's almost like asking for people to stand on it because it's like
Really?
blocks.
it's like it's,
like
literally
blocks.
it's,
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
blocks
they're
to represent
different
the
heights
families,
and- like,
right?
families.
Do they
and just,
represent
and
the
just,
age of the person? Is that why they're
No,
talking?
it's just
No,
trying to
it's-
represent that it wasn't like one type of person. I think it was just like
And it's dude, it's
men,
in the,
women.
and the weird part
tall,
is it's in the
small, old,
middle.
young.
It's
like-
in the middle of this plaza, and it's massive.
Yeah.
Like this place is massive.
But the thing is, like, I couldn't see myself. Well, I don't know.
You
I'm
were-
not the same as those people, but I couldn't see myself going to like the Hiroshima, memorial and like climbing on it. Like that just
Yeah, this wasn't
It
even a
doesn't-
memorial. It's not comparable.
Yeah,
I
well-
would be angry too in your situation.
it was
for
just
sure.
weird. I don't know.
yeah, it was weird.
It was a weird scene, but
Yeah.
every time you're in another country, it's just like,
yeah.
I'm just seeing it from my perspective.
perspective,
yeah,
yeah.
but it's completely different for
That was the
them.
same thing
know?
like with the 9/11
Yeah.
museum and monument. When I went there was no smiling, no laughing, nothing.
Exactly. It should be
And, like,
somber.
It
sometimes,
should be somber. But again, the same principle that I'm talking about exists where it's like up above, just a few steps up, people are going on about their lives. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
New York is as
Or
strong
one
as
block
ever.
over, or on
Right.
the sidewalk, people.
But when you're in there, there's an attitude of respect that you should have. Like,
Right.
and honestly, man,
But-
when I went to the 9/11 like museum monument place, like
Mhm.
it's that thing with the bad energy you were talking about. I felt it so strongly
Yeah.
there.
Bad
I was
It's
energy,
heavy,
man.
yeah, like
Yeah.
a
Heavy
heaviness.
energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if I was a kid and I was at that murdered Jews memorial,
It's even called the,
Yeah, yeah,
the
the-
memoriam of the
it's very
murdered Jew.
blunt,
That's
like,
what it's called,
yeah.
the memoriam
But,
of the murdered Jew.
dude, if I was a kid and my parents brought me there for
Mhm.
the day, like we went on vacation, I just showed up at this place. I wouldn't know why we were there.
Yeah.
I'd be running through it too, like
Totally.
Right.
playing tag or whatever.
See, and
But-
you look at that with an eye of context, which is what
Yeah,
makes
I
you
can understand
intelligent.
what
Yeah.
they're doing.
There's context
Adults,
to
I
people
don't
that-
give as much,
No, of course not.
leeway.
Right.
But
No.
yeah, no.
Like if I heard someone laughing and yucking, like when I'm at like some sort of memorial, I'm like,
Yeah.
hey man, like I know what somebody
Yeah.
says is probably funny,
Dude.
but like this is just not the place, dude.
Yeah, I love traveling, but it's like like tourist. I don't know, because I'm
So
also
I think
a tourist.
I think
in that
yeah, but we're a
situation,
little
but it's
different because
like-
we do a good job of blending in.
You're
I'll
self-aware,
say.
man.
I hope so, but
you
I
gotta
mean,
be-
but even now, like how loud we're talking, this would be something offensive in some places, like
Right. That's
Right.
true.
where I probably wouldn't even. After I have a few drinks, I'd probably be like loud as fuck and
Right, but I feel like people who are nuanced and are intelligent will look at you with context. They'd be like, all right,
Yeah.
this traveler isn't a bad person. He's just
Yeah.
acting in accordance to his culture. It's when you're disrespectful where it's different, right?
yeah.
So the whole thing about
I do catch myself though, like
dude, that's
in the
the
train.
that's the important thing. And then you say you're sorry, and that's it. You keep it
Yeah.
moving. Like in Japan, you're not
I
supposed
didn't
to
say a
talk on the
word
subway.
in that train.
What
Yeah.
you were talking on the subway?
No, in
train.
Germany, it's like even if people sneeze, no one says "bless you," no Gesundheit.
Yeah.
It's like
No
nothing.
one says that.
No one
Nah,
says
bro.
nothing, and
It's just
It's-
it's like that.
it's-
It's like that moment where you're just like you're to yourself.
it's just that I caught Sheldon just off in his own thing because like it would be us two, and then Shane and Oz, and they'd just be cracking jokes, bullshitting, yelling, like, and everyone, they had to have known too. They just,
Yeah.
I mean, not even
Yeah.
to fault them, dude. They're so funny, but it's just like,
Yeah.
why would they care? But it's because we're never gonna see these people ever again. We're on
Right.
these trains, like, why? I could see why some people also think that too. Like, when am I ever gonna run into these people? Like,
Yeah.
oh no, I offended them. But like, I don't know. You and I would look at each other like, like, damn, man.
Yeah, because you don't want to be that guy to tell your
Yeah.
friends like be quiet, and they're like, "Wow, like you're really on some time today."
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
just like it's be mindful, man. You're a small part of something.
Gotta
big
adapt
when
to
you
the
travel.
customs.
Oh yeah, dude. Like
That's
Yeah.
the thing.
the probably the worst I've ever felt is like when I've offended Japanese people. When it's happened like on
Yeah.
maybe like one or two occasions, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've just realized I've been terribly offensive, and you apologize, and they're cool about it. Like that's the thing. But
Yeah.
like just to be apologetic when you're offensive is important when you're
Yeah.
traveling. Just as long as the sorry comes, people know. They're like, you're not like when they look at you, you're not Japanese, so they expect something different from you, right? It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Benzai
Yeah.
Kwai.
I always talk about Japan, but that's for any country, really.
Yeah. Nah, yeah, that's the dream to go back again. But no, man, I wanted to do another like outside the U.S. trip this year, but I don't think it's in the cards for 2019. But
It's hard, man,
Yeah.
because you got to take off work, and then you
Gotta-
got to find a time where you can take off work.
you
And
have to
it's
have
like,
money too. like
yeah,
plane ride.
I think if I do go this year, it's definitely not gonna be summer. It's gonna be after the summer.
Yeah, and you know what? Not even like dig at anybody, but for once, I think I would also like to experience something just by myself.
Right.
No,
I feel like
not-
that's almost like a completely different
that's not a
vacation.
dig. I feel like everybody should do that, and I'm
Yeah.
hypocritical because I haven't done that yet. But that's something I want to do.
You
as
kind of
well.
have, even though you went with your dad, you were still by yourself
Yeah.
majority
Yeah,
of the time.
that was weird, but at least I still have my dad there to kind of like
Yeah.
orient me and like you belong to the U.S. kind of thing, you know, like when
You're
you
like,
don't
"Come this way.
yeah, you're like you don't really have anybody when you're in another country to
Yeah.
tell you that, you know. I had
Yeah.
a friend that moved to Bali, and she's been there now for like 3 months, and she loves it. You
Yeah.
know, and I watch her
So
on Instagram
beautiful,
and think
dude.
about it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? You might find another lifestyle. See, that's the thing. You might find another lifestyle
Yeah.
where you're like, wow, I could have lived this way, and I think maybe this is the right way for me to live. And then you might never leave.
I will say a lot
That
of
would be nice.
the places I've been, Portugal, Germany, is another one, Norway, totally different lifestyle. Not
Each
near,
one.
not nearly as fast as it is here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like if you don't like the fast lifestyle, it's
Mhm.
like, you know.
Loud talking, hand expressive, like
Right. I feel like a lot of people who are kind of more kept to themselves leave.
yeah.
Because I
can
don't
see
know how
that.
that girl is in Bali, but I know some people who, when they move and they become expats, they're kind of more on the reserve side. They're a little more quieter.
You have to be, because you have to leave everyone you know behind.
Right.
That's the tough
Mhm.
part. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like if I live in Japan, I'm probably not going to see you guys for years, and then by the time you
Right.
come back,
See,
it's
I
like,
don't see, and that's the crazy part because now, like prices for plane tickets, like anywhere is like so much cheaper,
Mm-hmm.
and it's getting cheaper every year. I was looking up a flight to Netherlands just because I always check flights. I was looking up a flight from Netherlands. Dude, it said round trip like $275,
nice.
and I was like, dude, like this 2 years ago is like $600.
Well, yeah, I was just thinking like, remember learning the map, like the world map, and just thinking
Yeah.
like, this is another part of the world. Like I'm never gonna be able to see this.
I
Like,
always thought about that too.
yeah, like, and then now it's just no. Well, from your story about the guy I was just thinking about this after the ball went rolling down the
Yeah,
movie theater.
I hated that.
I remember I went and saw Deadpool 2 in Manayunk,
Okay.
and
Wow, you hipster.
and I had my my glasses and my fixed gear bike, my suspenders.
Is the fixed gear bike like the foldable one?
No, it's like the one that has like the one sprocket,
Yeah.
so you can get maximum speed in the city.
Nice, dude.
No, but we were watching
Tuck
Deadpool
your pants
2.
into your socks.
Yeah, maybe like some suspenders that really don't hold your pants up. They're there for show.
Socks, like your pants into your socks. Oh,
I see people like that all the time. When I was working in the
Your
city,
sock?
when I was working in the city,
Old timey baseball player, like
like, hey, you're up.
it's like the same girls like don't shave their
Nah,
legs. And
people-
have crazy looking legs.
Ugh.
You ever seen those?
don't shave their
Nah,
legs.
Dude.
some bikers will put their tuck their pants into the sock
So you
on
don't
the,
get ripped up.
the
and
no the
wet.
oil on the chain.
Mm.
So
Well,
it's
dude, I
like-
remember riding bikes and getting that little mark on your back, like from the tire. It would if
Oh, hey.
What
what?
are you doing? Are you rolling over your bike
no,
every
I'm
morning?
saying, no, I'm saying if you were biking in the rain,
Yeah.
like I used to bike from my house to like your house and everything,
Right.
and if it was raining, the back tire would spit up water. And
Oh,
dirty in the
Oh.
back, and then
okay,
you'd get
okay,
that.
okay, okay.
I was gonna say,
that
what
line
Travis
on your-
Pastrana shit you
Yeah,
doing?
yeah,
like
when you
men
do a
just, like-
backflip, into your neighborhood.
Yeah.
No, but we were watching Deadpool 2, and maybe 15 minutes into the movie, this I just start hearing like this girl. She's like, who are you talking to? Like yelling and like clapping
There
and
you
like
go.
going in on this dude. Apparently, we found out later that he was like in a dark movie theater on his phone, like texting another girl. This girl was yelling that, like I guess while his girlfriend was right next to him.
What an idiot.
Yeah.
He's stupid.
So, he, like, this is literally the row right behind us. It's a tiny dude and like a linebacker girl, and he took her and like threw her on the ground, and like soda went
Whoa.
flying, popcorn went flying, everything is like,
Whoa.
and these are like the nice movie theaters, so like my chair is reclined and everything, so I'm like watching it, and I kind of like bring myself up, and it's like you can still kind of hear it in the movie theater. Like it's a little too obvious. Like, what the fuck are you looking at? Like, nothing. But like, dude, dude, they're going on and on. This guy's on top of her, and it's a tiny dude. And like, eventually, this guy in front of me got up and went and was like, "Yo, get off her, bro, get off her." And right when they let him up and her up, she just like grabs the guy and just starts wailing on him, like you got
Hammer
me fucked
fist.
up,
The
you got me
classic
fucked-"
overhead,
yeah,
like
yeah,
well,
and just
hammer
saying
fist.
like one phrase over and over again, like "you got me fucked up" or something. And dude, like she's literally just, it's like the movie, a cartoon where it's like the guy's like knocked out, just like she had to do a stand, and she's just like punching this guy, and then eventually we're just like, "Yo, like can someone help?" And like they stopped the movie, turned on the lights, the ushers came in, like security, like this movie theater.
The
This
flight's
movie
already over at this
yeah,
point.
no, this movie theater has like security,
yeah.
like not like some little usher kid, like
Right.
high school kid. Like they had like jack dudes that
Oh,
threw both of them out, and then they came by like afterwards with free tickets to like any two movies I want to see. Like
Wow.
so I think I used that to go see Black Klansman.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but yeah, I've never been in a movie with a movie theater when there's a fight, but it was just like
That's
everything I
actually
hoped it would be. Yeah.
There's so much movie theater stuff, man. Like, you ever
Yeah.
go see a movie? I will never forget this, man. I went with my my now roommate to see The Revenant when I was in college,
great movie.
and I'm
Yeah.
watching it, and I'm like, this movie's great. And I hear this little kid like, "What's that?" I'm like, "Who brought their kid in here to
Yeah.
see this movie?" I'm like, "Who?" And I look down in the front row. It's like a woman holding a baby, and like her toddler's next to her. I'm like, "Why?"
Yeah. What?
This is
Big-
not the
big-
Winnie the Pooh
Yeah,
live
it's
action
a
movie.
feel-good movie.
She's like, what? I'm a big Leo fan.
Dude, it was
Yeah,
crazy.
what?
And the same thing with Deadpool. Like when I was in Deadpool,
Yeah.
there's like all these little kids here. I'm like, how do you not know? How do you not know that that's going on?
When I went
don't get it,
to
man.
And
When
who
I
lets
saw-
those? I thought you're not supposed to be like in there.
right when I saw my hero,
I
hero,
didn't see anything.
that was the last time I might see like a anime type film in the theater because people were like yelling out the moves and shit.
The
I'm
My
like,
Hero,
yeah.
dude, it gets
So
so
like
weird.
Detroit Smash. I'm like, oh my god. I was
Dude.
like, this is
Yeah, I'd
this is
be like,
terrible.
you
And
ruined it for me.
That's what sucks. Like I love going to Comic-Con and I love going to Anime Con and stuff like that. But like anime cons, like different anime conventions. But I don't like fans get so weird, man.
Yeah.
Fans are weird.
I feel like it's like that in sports, but we find it as a culture more permissible. Like we find it more culturally acceptable for somebody to yell at a sports game, but we find it very weird
'Cause you're a man.
when we're watching an
Yeah.
anime, somebody to yell Detroit Smash, and it just weirds us out, dude. Detroit Smash! Like you're
I'm
like,
just like,
oh,
I'm just like,
dude.
yo, Duke, you gotta rap it.
Yeah, just stop, bro.
Yeah, get out.
Just stop while you're ahead.
Dude, sporting events are just the weirdest situations too. Just like
Well, because you live here. So
Yeah.
when you live here in Philadelphia, you see like the most extreme of it. You know.
yeah,
That you
and
could
you see
possibly see.
you see fans of the same team fighting each other.
Oh yeah.
You see old people getting the business, young people getting
Old people
like,
getting socked. dude.
yeah, old people getting pushed out of the way. Like the people are just savages, man.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
laughing 'cause
Goons.
It is.
Yeah.
It's tribalism though, man. Like we long for that as human
Yeah.
beings. We love to
When
be on
people
a
get
team.
in packs,
Yeah.
everything it's like the
Oh,
group
yeah.
mentality, the
Dude,
pack mentality. Like,
I understand why it happens. I think it's
Yeah.
funny and I think it's really silly.
Right.
But I understand, dude, why the tribalism is so strong.
some just snaps in people. Like I
Dude.
tell you, dude, I was at the Winter Classic like last weekend, and like it was Flyers fans at a larger venue, so it was just like more
Flyers fans and a bunch of fake Irish people.
Yeah, people that say
Yeah, but those
they're
Gritty's like a big fat Irish dude.
yeah,
Like, I just put
big,
that
fat
together.
drunk.
That's what he's supposed to look like. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I bet they based
It
it
looks
off
like
of
an
that.
oversized leprechaun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or just like, you know,
Great.
the Fanatics like incest cousin or some shit. But but I don't. Yeah, just like the groups were just more angry than usual. People had gotten rained on, so people were like,
Oh yeah, that's the worst.
you know, we got to a part where everything kind of funneled, so people were pushing each other, and like, you know, you see guys like, here I go, like, just like barreling over people.
That's what I do at the bar.
Yeah. Yeah, good luck everybody else.
I'm like,
From Family Guy,
Yeah.
when she's making the left hand
good luck
turns.
everybody.
Good luck, everybody else.
that's a classic.
Just put your head down and go. Like, yeah. I just wonder what it's like being in some like small town, like not
Town
town, but
where
like small
sports is-
city where it's maybe like one or two professional teams.
You probably
know?
get a lot more done.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot less sitting around watching sports. And no shade to sports fans, but it's just like, geez, man, you really get into it. My
Yeah.
whole take on this, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, but you
Yes,
know, disagree with me if you want.
Mm-hmm.
I very
I'm
much
offended.
Yeah.
I
Well,
coincide with what Chris D'Elia said about jerseys. Like, if you're a grown man, you're wearing someone else's jersey, they have the right to your girl immediately.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying?
What
Like
you're
that.
talking
I
about,
never
yeah.
got that. I was never a sports guy though, so I never really understood the appeal. But like, you know, I have friends that are talking about like, oh, dude,
Yeah.
the Sixers and stuff like that. That's cool. And then my one guy was like, I'm gonna get a jersey. I'm like,
yeah.
it's
I
cool
mean,
when you're a kid.
maybe,
Like,
maybe
I'm a fan of
jerseys
this.
not so much, but like maybe a tattoo of them, I'd be like, yeah, that's they basically could tell you whatever to do, and you
Yeah,
have to do it. Like,
Yeah, I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
yeah.
But
I gotta be careful.
Had the Phillies pee right there.
Does anyone-
Ben, I can never
Yeah.
imagine you with the tattoo. What would you get?
So I've thought about it. Everyone thinks about tattoos, right?
They do.
But so before I get into that, I was helping my neighbor beneath me with his cat and stuff.
Yeah.
And him and his girlfriend are both covered in tattoos.
Nice.
And we had this interesting conversation where he feels as though tattoos have become so common that almost the counterculture in a couple years will be people that don't have any tattoos,
I
or
can see
believe
that.
it.
'cause
I
it's
can see
just-
that.
people have just started to get like
There's
know
people in corporate that have
yeah
like tattoos, like visible
yeah,
ones.
it's like people, I mean
it's just
the
weird.
amount of people that in the past 10, 15, 20 years that just go to the shop, pick something out of a book because it's not a big deal anymore.
Yeah.
So I guess like to have just nothing is almost looked at as if you're
Yeah.
like a weirdo. But he thought that, but his girlfriend was like, nah, he's just high. Like, what is he talking about? But he's a cool dude. He's from Texas.
Yeah.
He's his like Chicano family from Texas, so they have all these, you know, old traditions that he was telling me about where they like, for good luck, they'll like rub toads on people.
Whoa.
Or like
Lick it, you get high.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say the psycho toads.
start
Are
tripping,
those the
yeah.
kind of ones they?
or
they
you could die too, but yeah.
yeah,
But like
you probably could.
they said like, I think it was, he told me like, you can't tell a baby that they're like that's like a beautiful baby, because then God will take it or something like that. Like some crazy shit that
Wow.
he was just going on about these traditions. I was like totally into it, but
Ben's just like this.
yeah,
I
I
don't
was
know
like,
what you're talking about.
yeah, it's crazy, bro. Like, whoa,
Can you pass some Thin Mints?
yeah.
Pass those Thin Mints?
Like, wait, you have a cat? But I don't know. Like, you know, I always thought Lucky Cat would be kind of cool.
What is that?
You know the Lucky Cat?
Oh, the little
Yeah.
Koban Nikimashi.
You should get on your
guy.
back, whole
Yeah,
back,
full back. Yeah.
full back.
No,
So next time you go
thought
to the
it'd be cool.
bathhouse,
Yeah.
that's it.
Everyone gets out, but
They'll be,
I
"Hey,
thought it'd be cool to
Lucky."
get like style of like the cat, like my cat Mitt, like
Oh,
kind of like that. But
that's pretty cool.
You should get a paw print tattooed on you.
yeah, that'd be cool. I want to get like an image of him. That'd be kind
Is
of
there
cool.
like a porn star that has that on there?
Oh no, it's really that's.
I'm
one that
sure there's a
women
lot
do
that, but and then like not to be a downer, but remember my friend Honcho who passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to school with him, and he was running. Well, he was a mayor. He was the youngest mayor elected to this small town in Pennsylvania.
Wow.
So I thought it'd be cool to get like a vote for Honcho pin, like
That's
mayor's
sick.
pin or something.
Dude,
But
these are all
it'd be
really
corny.
wholesome tattoo
See, but that's
ideas,
the thing.
man.
I also
They're nice.
hate people that are like, "Oh, might have to mean something. Like this means like love and like tranquility." It's like, man, just do something that you think looks cool too. But I've had so much time to think about it that I'm
Right.
always like,
But those are simple enough. My thing, it's
Yeah.
like somebody has a tree, and then there's like a bird hanging upside down, and then there's like, and it's just
Yeah.
like, what is this? And it's
You
just
don't
like,
get
well,
it.
When I was
Yeah.
8 years old, like, if you had to tell me a whole story about the tattoo, you shouldn't have to. But like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My thing when it comes to tattoos, I think the best looking ones are just like the aesthetic ones, like the one that Rock has. They're just like patterns.
Samoans.
That just
Samo-
like
I think
augment your
patterns are
body
tight.
shape. I think
Yeah.
those are pretty
white
cool.
guys probably shouldn't get tribal tattoos.
Oh no, dude.
No, you know it's
unless
the.
you surf for
you know-
like a living or
No, it's
something.
actually
Yeah,
like
it's
the
corny.
maybe the equivalent to it. So there's this guy I follow on Instagram. I actually messaged him before, just like, dude, your art
Ooh.
is sick. No, because he's like really good, but he's
Put
like,
in those DMs.
yeah, he's I don't know, I forget. He's on the West Coast or maybe not even this country. I don't remember,
Mm-hmm.
but his whole body is covered in like geometry.
His face
like-
too.
No, not his face.
Okay.
Like his arm.
maps, like geography. Like,
No, not geography, geometry.
Like
oh,
checkerboards
geometry.
and
Okay,
stuff.
I
Yeah.
read that wrong.
So like it'll be like shapes
Mm.
and like the lines and all this stuff and like because there is like a belief of like connectivity between shapes and like lines, like kind of like positivity type thing.
Yeah.
So his like whole sleeve is like just like hexagons and like dark shadows and stuff. It looked really
That's
cool.
pretty wild. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
He's Asian, isn't he?
he might be. I'm not
He
sure.
makes like robot masks and stuff.
I don't know. I think his name's like Dylan. I forget his name. I would have to look it up.
Dylan's
Damn.
not
But-
an Asian guy name, but I dig that.
Yeah.
By the way,
That's
if you
true, I
get, if
don't
you
know
get
any
shape
Dylans.
tattoos all over your body, you definitely do drugs. Just so you know, for sure.
Gotta
Dude,
cover
it's
'em
just
up.
my geometry, man.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm just thinking like a Prison Break.
I'm
like
a
the dude that
Sagittarius.
the dude
see
Prison
if I
Break
can-
who got like the escape instructions
Oh yeah, yeah,
on
yeah.
his
yeah.
body. Yeah, that's what I would
Memento,
get.
man, that was a really creative one where he just
Yeah.
gets like facts about himself.
Okay.
tattooed on his body.
Found him. Like, look at that.
Dude,
That-
that's super sick. Actually.
That's sick, right?
That's very sick. See, that's what those are the kind
But
of
that's
tattoos.
not. I don't think that's him. I think that's what he.
Those are the
drew on
kind of
someone.
tattoos I respect. I respect like the ones that are simply like aesthetic.
Intricate.
Not that
Yeah.
your
Too.
ideas aren't cool, but like those are the ones.
Yes,
I'm
that's the
always
thing,
Wow.
like-
Oh, Ben should get that.
Huh.
You're gonna get that?
Listen, Ben should.
Yeah, it's wild. Kind
Yeah.
of looks like a stank face though.
Blue's like, oh,
No,
I don't know about this.
Yeah.
This
La-
is kinda
last
weird.
one, or that.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. Like I don't know. Like
awesome.
so you actually bring up a good point. Like so far I have no
Markings on your
real.
body.
I don't have like an idea of something that would take up a lot of space. So if I wanted a bunch of little ones, I would end up looking like like a notebook or something. Like
Now,
with
if you had a
doodles
little
on
one,
it.
you would look
That's
like.
what I don't want.
That's what. See, you draw, so you understand. Like, I'd want something
don't
to be
like-
comprehensive.
I don't like dead space. I don't like there to be like
I don't know,
really
because
looks like-
sometimes it looks good though. You see some sleeves that are just like a bunch of
sometimes,
random
but
different
then you
things.
see like who's the dude that took off his shirt at the Super Bowl? Levine.
Oh,
Adam Levine. Adam Levine.
Oh,
He's got the just like
It looks like your
I'm gonna
body's
put
a
a bird
scrapbook.
here,
yeah.
a flower here, like
It
a,
looks
a
like your
star,
body's a
like,
scrapbook. It's
yeah.
just, it's so odd.
I'd
man.
rather have a full connectivity of everything.
something
like,
symmetrical.
Uh-huh.
Like that would be kind of cool. That's just my take on tattoos. I've seen a bunch
Yeah.
of ones that are odd and that look awesome.
I
but
always
that's
thought
just my take.
Twilight Zone tribute would be kind of cool because
it's coming back.
Yeah, but I mean, growing up, I was always that was like, I mean, before there was like cable and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there was only a couple of channels, and the one that my family was like always watching was Twilight Zone. Like some of my earliest memories watching TV is Twilight Zone, and like
Yeah, man.
Really?
yeah, just kind of like I don't know if it shaped the way you think about like movies and things that you like TV show wise, and the stories that you like, but just like I can just off the top of my head just remember like the classics. You know,
I love
Yeah.
that show so much, man.
I always thought it'd be cool. Like the intros. Have you ever seen the intro of
You talking
the
about
original?
the spiral?
The spiral and like the
Oh,
door
the
opening
eye,
and the
the
eye
E
and the
equals
dog.
MC squared.
And
yeah,
the
he's
dog
like,
going
you're
over.
now
Pretty
in
cool.
the
Yeah.
Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Dude, that'd be pretty
Like,
awesome.
A dimension of sight and
And
sound.
sound.
Yeah.
You hear the glass break.
You're now entering the Twilight Zone. Yeah. The
Dude,
little
can
thing.
you imagine how excited they were when they made that opening and they watched it together as a studio? They were probably
Someone
like,
probably just their
this
head
is-
blew up.
they're
Like
probably like, this is awesome.
yeah.
Someone's like,
Yeah, like all right, that's a wrap,
like,
boys.
like now we look at it and it's kind of corny, but like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
cool. But like
Yeah,
back
yeah.
then they were just probably like,
Well, dude, the special effects, everything is just like everything now just looks, practical effects and everything.
I
but
think the impact is still there. Like the doll episode, like
That's why I came back,
talking
man. Tina,
doll
the
one.
talk- yeah.
that episode you still watch it and you're like,
Mhm.
sheesh, man, like this
Yeah.
is weird.
or dude, I mean, the one that most people remember is the Eskimo on the wing.
oh
on the
yeah,
plane.
yeah.
When the dude's out there and like William Shatner, I
He
think is
keeps
the
saying
guy.
that. Yeah,
He's out there, and you know him. But
he's like hallucinating.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Just all those. I remember staying with my family and just watching it for the countdown on New Year's Eve. Like
oh yeah,
they play like 24 hours of that. We'd watch like the whole.
Dude,
thing.
remember that? That's a thing of the past now. Day marathons. We used to just watch
Yeah.
one TV show all day.
I'm trying to remember the
Like, turn
last
it on.
one that did that.
Yeah.
I've seen. I know it's more common with cartoons.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Way
sure.
more common with cartoons.
Like we're playing Rocket Power all day, every
Like-
episode, starting at the first one. They had the SpongeBob marathons too, where they would just play SpongeBob
Yeah.
all day. And you're
and
like,
then
yeah,
Harry
I
Potter
get it.
movies. They do
Yeah.
that with Harry Potter movies.
Yeah,
I can't remember a TV show that would do
wasn't
like
big
a.
fan.
It'd be like more of the network shows.
Yeah, but
Do
that's
like in preparation for the new season, we have the 48-hour weekend
yeah,
special.
yeah. Nah,
Like,
just,
I
yeah.
feel like you're never gonna see that again because of streaming. It's just like, dude, if I want to watch all the SpongeBob,
Yeah.
I'll watch them all on Hulu.
You know what's
right
funny?
now.
So I just finished True Detective, the newest season,
Mhm.
and it was only 8 episodes,
Mhm.
and I actually really appreciated the week long. It was the first time in a while that like I watched probably since Westworld season 2, watched weekly, and I was like, I actually missed this
Mm.
because like it gave you time to like
Digest
think
it.
all week. All week I was thinking leading up to the next episode, like.
Mhm.
I'd be at work and I'm like, all right, let me check the Reddit real quick, see what people, see if anyone,
see some theories.
they see if anyone had any new ideas or stuff like that.
That's
and
why I'm
then-
with Atlanta. I'll go on
Yeah.
Atlanta and just dive into
because
that.
even some shows, like some shows,
Yeah.
you need to watch it again, like
Mhm.
watch the episode again. Because I don't binge shows anymore. I like watch it and then maybe I'll watch the next one, but then I'll be like, all right, I need to,
I watched one or two. Yeah,
yeah,
Right
I
now,
need to let this breathe. Because
you
if
meditate
you just,
on it.
because you can't even tell if you
Yeah.
like it or not.
Yeah,
Because if you actually give it that time, if you like it, you watch
Yeah.
it. If you don't, then you're like, oh, it wasn't for me. Like I started,
I'm still like that though. I still find some shows where like it has to not be told to me to watch it.
what episode?
so true.
What do you mean? It
I
has
have
to be.
to just stumble onto it
And genuinely
and
like
then
it.
just start to be
Mm.
like,
Yeah.
oh, this is something that I haven't heard
What
of.
what episode is it
know,
for
maybe I'm a
you
hipster.
that if you're not caught by, you're like you
Huh.
drop it?
What do you mean? Like,
So like, what episode in the show will you watch it? Let's say if you could binge a whole season, what's the episode for you that if you're not hooked to it by, you kind of don't
Mine
watch the
is
show?
one.
Yours is one.
what?
I give you
Yeah.
Really?
I give you one chance.
Wow.
I watched Adventure Time the first episode and I
I'd
was
probably
like,
say-
I love this.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I was right.
Yeah, if I
I'm
love
3.
a show, I'll definitely get past one. But if it's just not going anywhere,
Well, some
probably
some
one.
shows are pretty cryptic.
Mhm.
That will like, and I'm like, I want to
yeah,
see
okay,
more.
you're right. I'd probably
So I
probably make
usually
it to
I usually
2.
go to 3.
Yeah,
I usually
Like,
seriously
dude.
just one. Like I give you one
give
shot.
your Snowfall.
Yeah, that's the new show on
FX?
TNT. Yeah, that's what it is.
Like, dude, that's such a crazy show. I don't see
So's,
any advertising for
So's
it.
Legion.
Legion. I've
That's
heard
on
of it, I just
FX.
didn't
It's
watch
like
it, yeah.
it's kind of like X-Men, but it's
Uh-huh.
not really like.
Dude, FX
like
is
superhero.
actually building up some like really good
I
content.
really like
sure,
that.
yeah.
I really like that one show on TNT, Animal Kingdom.
I've heard- yeah, I've heard,
really like
but-
that show. It's like just a
Yeah.
family of like thieves, crooks and thieves.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. I don't know. Like, it's just the shows where it's something that like you have never been exposed to that kind
That's-
of catch me. You know
That's
that
what I'm into.
like
yeah.
Snowfall. It's all about selling crack. Like, I don't know.
There's not that
anything
many
about
good. What was the last good drug show?
It. Right.
I mean?
Exactly. Liar.
Some
Some would say Breaking Bad. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
some would also say weeds.
Weeds.
Some
yeah.
would say Weeds. Yeah.
Weeds was good. but that's not hard drugs. But
Right.
it did become.
I
hard
think
drugs
it
eventually?
came towards later.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa, this is not.
Yeah.
My tolerance for live action is way down. Like
Mhm.
I can't do it anymore. It's weird. It has to be really good. Like the last one I watched was what's the one that Jonah Hill is in? On
Maniac.
Netflix.
Maniac.
That's-
Yeah, man.
See, okay, see.
I like that.
So how that first episode didn't hook me,
That first episode, I was like, "There's something to
Yeah,
this."
no,
and
I
that's
was
what I was saying. Like
I was
the
in
intrigue.
on after the first episode.
But
I
haven't
seen
finished
Bird
it, though.
Box. I haven't seen.
No,
I'm
skip
not
it.
gonna watch
Any of
Bird
that
skip
Box.
it.
Yeah, like a lot of those.
It's not.
things
It's
where-
not good.
But that's the thing where people were like, "You gotta see it." I'm like,
I
"No,
think
I
people-
don't."
Here's the thing.
Like,
Whenever
no, I don't.
someone's-
Like,
whenever someone says that to me,
Yeah.
that turns me off right away.
Yeah,
Like when
but-
they're like, "Dude, you have to." I'm like, done.
but then
Sorry, I
that one
can't.
movie Bandersnatch or whatever.
I
I
watched,
watched it, and it was actually I enjoyed it.
It's cool.
Yeah,
It was fun.
yeah.
was
But
fun.
then I exit out of it, and it shows that I'm only like 30% through the thing. So then I go back in and do the different paths, and then I exit again, and I'm like only 50%. But I made it to the end like any way
Well,
I
there's
could.
I think there's like 9 different endings.
Yeah,
my,
I don't-
My roommate and I, we did it. We did that episode together one time, and like we were talking about it, and then the next day he sends me a text, and it's a tree, anagram of every single option you could have
Oh,
done.
what?
And he was like, "This is the
So
whole
like the
entire thing."
cereal, like one of the first things that,
That
probably
doesn't.
had.
Okay, so the cereal, the music, and Bandersnatch. By the way, it doesn't make a difference. That does not affect your
One of the
choice.
biggest choices
That's
in
what I
that
thought.
movie,
It's
It's
though.
talking to the therapist about what happened to your
Yes.
mom. If you say no, it's a completely different thing. If you
Yeah,
say
yeah.
yes, it's
That's like one of the frustrating ones because like when you want to go back, it won't allow you until you die, and then you have to redo the whole thing.
Yeah.
But the one with the computer,
Mm-hmm.
that is one of the biggest important parts of the whole movie. When he's like freaking out, goes to the computer,
Oh
and
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like had the emblem was either the
Netflix.
Bandersnatch sign or like the Netflix
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And if you choose Netflix twice, it like literally just erases
yeah.
the whole thing.
Yeah, it says like why or like
even
wrong
tell
path.
you-
Like it doesn't
yeah.
even let you go through anything.
Right.
My
It's just like-
objective with
It
Bandersnatch.
restarts the whole film for
Yeah,
you, and you
yeah.
have to do it all over. I'm like, oh,
My objective with Bandersnatch was to make the most inconvenient choice for the narrative possible because I wanted to see how creative the writing would get.
and
It's like, you want
it
to talk
got
about your
it
mom,
got
and
there.
I was like, no. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
So
I
that's
always
the
made
thing
the
with,
opposite
like,
option.
Like improv, you're always supposed to yes end. Like you're supposed
Yeah.
to say like yeah, and then we did this to keep it going. But if
Yeah.
you like, I did the same thing. Like you hit no and just make them like
yeah.
oh, shit. Like,
I
you
love those
know,
moments, too,
Yeah,
like-
like scramble a little
Because that's
bit,
more
like-
fun to watch than
Yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, the whole thing with improv is like, if this is true, then this is also
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
But it's just like, nope.
No, but see, yeah, but people for some reason I don't know. That's just, it's. I guess I'm different on that because people were telling me I need to watch that too, but I just kind of gave in and did
Yeah,
that.
but that's
I
different
just-
because that's like it was almost not even like a movie.
Yeah.
It was literally like a game.
But
that
then I
was
found
cool.
out like the whole Bird Box thing was kind of like a marketing
That movie
thing
was
too.
whack.
Like,
Really?
well, they created the movie and then before they even put it out, they had a whole team of people
Fake
that
Twitter
are making
accounts.
memes. Like
Yeah.
they had it
Really?
trending with memes like the day it
Yeah.
came out.
It was
like,
smart move because
Yeah.
it worked.
That's actually pretty
Yeah,
genius.
It was
they,
smart.
they wrapped it up with a joke and a meme, and then it kind of just yeah. I've seen that picture of her in
Dude.
the boat with the kids in some Photoshop thing more than I've seen the actual thing on Netflix.
It was
They made it
smart.
before. Oh my
Yeah, they made the
gosh.
memes before the movie
No,
came
yeah, there's
out.
a whole they had a whole marketing team for that movie. Like,
Dude,
but that's through
that's-
Netflix.
it's
that's the future
It's
right
a-
there.
it's- no, that's a genius move.
That's
Yeah.
the future.
I mean, it's
Didn't help the movie though. I mean, I didn't like the movie.
Well, but it means people are gonna watch it.
yeah.
It doesn't
Oh,
matter
and
if you
yeah,
direct people to
100%.
garbage. You just
Yeah.
directed them to
And
it.
it's funny
It's
because that was
crazy.
like the only movie I can't remember before that and after that Netflix put out the streaming numbers. Remember we were saying that like
Yeah.
they like
They're
even the
always
people
quiet, yeah.
even the people whose content's on there, they don't tell how many people watched it.
Yeah.
The
Like,
next
they
one they
always
did
talk about
was
that on
the TV
podcasts.
show You.
Oh yeah,
They released numbers. So when it's you know the TV show You, that's
Dude,
that.
Stalker.
Again, that to me
Stalker.
looks. You know, I'm closed-minded about certain things, Sheldon. That looks like such a chick flick.
Yeah,
kinda
yeah.
No, it
show,
is.
like,
Yeah, it's
I
like
saw-
Hallmark.
Yeah.
like,
Dude,
you
I'm
know,
not
Lifetime.
So check this
Yeah.
out. So while it was on its syndicate run, while it was on TV, it earned I don't know like $5 million over
That's good.
its course. It's not like good because it was over its course over
Yeah,
a
I
couple
could see how
years.
5 million would be like.
Yeah,
bad.
it was. That's kind of
We
low.
bought this car for nothing.
Right. So $5 million over its run, which I think was like 2 or 3 years, is kind of low.
Yeah, yeah.
Then the first weekend it was on Netflix, or the first 30 days it had like
Ooh.
44 million.
So what made that blow up then?
Because
They
it's,
just
more,
promoted
it's,
it more?
it's
just
more
a-
accessible.
it's more accessible.
And
Yeah.
think about it. I make a new trailer
Well-
for it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, a lot of
Cut it
stuff's
up.
accessible on Netflix. I bet they add so much on there that we just never.
We got to think how
hear
many
about.
people actually watch the channel it comes on.
Oh, probably, yeah. I mean, how many
Right.
people still have cable?
Exactly.
But
So you move a show like that to Netflix, where it's like, oh, this is kind of, it's a little edgy, it's a youngish kind of show.
Yeah.
People are gonna talk about, and if women like a show like that, then the men will tend to like it as well.
Yeah.
Right.
It will like just
Like
cultivate.
Star is Born. I haven't seen that.
I
I
don't
haven't
really
seen
want to
that
see it.
either.
I don't really want to see it.
Yeah, I mean it's been talked up. I get it. It's almost like Silver Linings Playbook or something. Like Bradley Cooper plays like
Yeah.
this,
With Jennifer Lawrence.
beat
Oh, I thought you
down,
guys were talking about the
rugged.
Freddie Mercury movie. No,
Yeah.
I don't want to see this one. This
No,
one.
we're
No.
talking.
no.
That's
This one with Lady Gaga
Bohemian
in it?
Rhapsody.
Yeah, yeah.
Please spare
Where
me.
they're
No,
pop singers.
I think
or
you
something.
should see Bohemian
I
Rhapsody.
definitely want to see that.
That was a
Yeah,
great
that's
movie.
what
I
wanna
have
see that.
no urge to see. I don't even really
Really?
like Queen. Like, I feel like that's like blasphemy now. Like, when did everyone start loving Queen? Like,
No, I think-
when this,
See,
that
it's like one of
misses
those
now.
things. It's like because Queen,
People
even
love
though
one
they
song.
stopped. no, but think about it, dude.
People
All of
act like
Queen's
they're
hits.
fans
Play
of
the
all-
Mama song.
Yeah, yeah.
Play it.
Yeah.
Scaramouche. It's like we
Yeah.
get it, dude.
No, but it's like, dude, you gotta think about it. They had so many hits over different.
Yeah.
Another
I
one bites
know.
the dust. We Will Rock You. We Are the Champions. Like Bohemian Rhapsody. Fat Bottom Girls. Like there's so
Yeah,
many.
We get it, Sheldon. You go to all the
I
tribute
just-
all the tribute
He
bands.
takes his sweater off
Yeah.
slowly and he's wearing a Queen shirt.
Freddie
I got.
Mercury
I'm like,
shirt.
hey, oh.
The
Nah,
spotlight goes on.
that was cool. My
That was sick.
mom was like she was a Queen fan. I remember
That's
I was supposed to go see it with her, but
Wow.
we didn't end up seeing it. I ended up seeing it by myself.
I was supposed to see
I don't
Daft
know.
Punk with my dad. I didn't see it.
Damn.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the concert. No, the movie. You ended up. All right.
Yeah, I saw it with Natalia.
Translation, sorry.
I was like, Daft Punk? They have a movie?
Yeah, they do a movie.
No, that's cool though, man.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I feel bad because sometimes everyone is at work talking about this thing, and I'm just like,
Dude, I'm like that every day, all the time, especially on the show.
I feel like
That's why I have this
only-
guy.
Yeah.
yeah, that's my only real like driver to make me want to watch something.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's like on my back is like.
You watch Mr.
everyone's gonna
Robot?
Talk. No.
No.
Dude, that
Ben
guy
is
like
just me,
Rami.
bro.
What's his name? Rami Malik or something.
Rami Malik.
I don't know. It's just
No, what's funny about
You
him?
know what actor I don't like? Who's the guy that's Who's the guy that plays Mark Zuckerberg?
Oh, Jesse Eisen.
I
yeah,
can't
yeah.
stand
Jesse-
that guy.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry,
Jesse-
I can't.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Eisen?
Jesse Eisenberg. I can't
Eisenberg.
stand him, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Everything he's in, I avoid very.
You don't like
very
Catch Me If You Can?
vehemently.
Not Catch Me If You Can.
Are you
Now,
talking-
now you see it, the card
Oh,
one.
the magician
Dude,
movie.
I'm so mad about that.
You don't like that movie?
The
Are you ser-
magician
wait, you're being
movie.
sarcastic, right? Please say you're being sarcastic.
First one
No,
was
he's not
cool.
being sarcastic.
First one was
Are you
cool.
serious?
I never
If
saw
we
the
were
second
Okay,
like-
one.
hold on. All right, we're about to end the podcast here
Yeah.
because we've been going on pretty long. But let me just talk about this
let's
stupid movie. What's it called?
I-
Now You See Me?
Yeah.
All right.
Now you see it.
Wait, isn't Morgan Freeman in that?
Morgan Freeman's in it. The
Uh,
dude that's in
yeah.
the sequel to Rise of the Planet of the Apes is in it. What is that guy?
The
I saw the
magician
first one. I
movie.
was like, that was cool. Second one, I didn't see the second
Let me
one.
tell you about this movie, right? The whole point of
He's like,
magic,
how many cards do I got? 4? Are you
Right.
sure?
that the whole point of magic tricks and them being amazing is that like it's done in front of you live, right? If you do it in the setting of a movie where anything's possible, then it's not impressive anymore, right? I watched a movie where a little alien named Yoda fights Darth Sidious. It's a movie, so
Right.
I take it with a grain of salt. My brother's like, "Dog, you got to see this. The magic is
Yo.
insane." I'm like, "Are you retarded?"
Yo, he pulls a
I'm
rabbit
sorry.
out of a hat.
I'm like, "It's a movie."
Yo.
It's a
Hey,
movie,
boy.
of course. And like at the end, they're like, "Yo, we're
Yeah.
gonna make like everyone disappear." I'm like, "Bro, it is a movie. It's not a live show. Why is this impressing people?" And I was like, "I think it's because of the cast." I remember I was watching it, and the friend who recommended it to me fell asleep, and so I'm watching it, and I'm just like, "This movie
That's
sucks."
not a good. Yeah, that's
dude.
not a good sign.
I'm
yeah.
sorry, I had to step away from the mic because I had to yell about this movie. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry if you think like Now You See Me is like an impressive movie. You need to watch more
Yeah,
movies.
Square up.
Square up. I think it's the most passionate I've ever gotten on this podcast.
About a magician movie.
A magician?
Yeah.
A magician?
Dude. If I want to see a
Drake.
magician, I'll go on a cruise and I'll go to like the 8 p.m. show that.
Do
the
you
guy
watch
does on the cruise.
do you watch that Penn and Teller show then?
That show is cool
That's a good
because
show.
that's a live show, right?
You watch it?
And okay, so
I've seen like an
yeah,
episode.
the whole premise of the
Shin
Penn and Teller
Lim,
show
man, he's killing it.
is the Penn and Teller sit at
Who?
this desk, and it's like American Idol. They audition people to come up and
Mhm.
do the Penn. We talked about this in the podcast.
Yeah.
That's a live show. It's not a movie where there's like CG and like all this stuff. So
yeah. I know,
everybody
you
who said
could-
that movie was great.
With cameras, you could do anything now. Like
That's what
with
I'm
the
saying.
CGI and stuff. Like,
That's why when the
Everyone-
Carbonaro effect,
can.
like people are like the Carbonaro effect. I'm like, dude, the amount of times that the camera cuts away is just like ridiculous. And also, it's just like you know that 90% of these people in the supermarket are actors.
Are
that they-
actors, dude.
and people are like the Carbonaro effect. I'm like,
Dude, Why does no one ever realize that like these people that are on the show have new haircuts, makeup, new clothes? Like people just go out and buy like
Right.
cupcakes like that. Like
The one I will
like,
indulge is in Practical Jokers because I
Yeah,
do
yeah.
think that that's actually genuinely funny. Even if it is fake, it's actually pretty. I think the ideas on it are funny.
The thing that makes it fake to me is that whenever they go up to people, the quality of sound just sounds amazing. I'm like, sounds like they have a mic on them.
Not
like
only
they
that,
got
but the
the-
consequences. Like, how do they get this random guy into like a reading circle for a book? You know what I'm saying? Like, they shoe in these people in places of like
or, like,
responsibility.
they get some guy to like drop his pants on the boardwalk or something
Right.
weird. Like, I mean, do
Yeah.
people actually do? I don't know. People probably do that.
I mean, yeah, but it's.
But
you
yeah,
can,
no,
you can tell when that's
you do
legit
get
or
some
not.
weird vibes on there sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
like they almost knew it was gonna.
I don't
happen.
watch them.
Yeah,
I don't really care for prank shows.
Yeah.
just magician shows, I guess.
Fuck them.
And with that, we gotta end because we've been going for a while now. And
What time is it?
We gotta play Smash Bros. In
Where
a
we
little
at?
bit. So
Oh shit! It's 5:42.
yeah. So
It's snowing.
is it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Supposed to.
That's my new
Well,
catchphrase.
here's the thing. Ben is a liar, and
It's
Sheldon doesn't
snowing.
like to watch prank shows, and I don't like that movie. Now you see me.
Yeah.
That's what you learned
Hey,
from today's episode.
Tune in next week on.
until next time.
Thank you for coming on. Tell everyone
Yeah.
about the mixtape that you're dropping real quick and how controversial it is.
I'm starting a
racially and-
GoFundMe. I recently lost my house to fire ants.
This is not a joke at all.
Yeah.
Seriously, there's a house moving across a plane right now.
Yeah.
It's just being carried by ants.
By fire. It's in all my pantry. It's everywhere. I just had to start over again. So help
All
me.
right. So donate to Ben's GoFundMe.
Yeah,
so
help
that,
me.
that he can be ant free. This has been
Hey.
episode 58. We'll see you next time. I mean 59. Peace.